It's Matthew Deese and John Teague with the Bedford County Extension Office. We've got a producer here with us. Would you introduce yourself?
My name is Russ Usselton. I farm here in Bedford County, Tennessee.
What's your farm name and what county you're? I guess you're here in Bedford, aren't you?
Yep.
All right.
Usselton Farms. I farm corn and soybeans, beef cattle, and hay.
All right. So this is a question probably for you and John, since y'all have worked together so much in the past. Kind of what role has Extension played in your operation?
Extension's played a big role in my operation. A lot of the qualifications, in some cases, things I need to do business, like a pesticide certification, for example. I have my own sprayer, and a lot of times without that certification, my sprayer becomes a big useless piece of junk because I can't use it. And also the Master Beef Producer, that program has really helped a lot here in the state of Tennessee. I think it's improved our feeder cattle, and also just as an aside, I sit on some national boards with some different cattle organizations, and I've talked to order buyers and market owners from different parts of the country, and they've noticed an improvement in Tennessee cattle.
The genetics part of the Ag Enhancement Program has a big play in the health and nutrition part of the
genetics, the quality of the cattle coming out of this part of the country is better.
Management, pre-weaning and background and that kind of thing.
And that's all. A lot of that is due to Master Beef and improvements in management.
Now you not only have a cow-calf operation, but you started developing heifers, as bred heifers to be sold on the open market.
Yep.
And the genetics behind that.
Yep. Yeah, I've done some heifer development in the past, and there again, trying to improve the genetics coming out of this part of the country.
Served on the board of the local Cattlemen's Association, then went on to be on the state Beef Industry Council and serving on the national committee with them now. Is that correct?
Yeah, served on my local Cattlemen's Association. I've served several positions on the State Beef Council. Currently, I'm on the NCBA Executive Committee.
Very good.
It comes back to the background that you picked up with from the extension program.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Hope everybody's having a good state fair, and this is Bedford County Extension tuning out.
Howdy folks, this is Justin Hargrove with UT Extension over here in Benton County. Out on the farm today with Mr. Hayden Jeanette of J&J Farms. Hayden, could you tell us a little bit about your operation here?
So yeah, we've had cows my whole life. We started out very small, 1 or 2 pairs. Then we moved up to about 50 brood cows. Then we decided during COVID that kind of freezers at the store was running a little low. We decided we're going to start finishing cattle out and selling them to the public. We started that, and one thing led to another. We finished probably 20, 25 cows a year. And then we moved into the kind of starting in the stockers. We run probably 35, 40 stockers every year, put with the calves that we've already got. And then we sell fresh pork. I've got pork that we sell direct to some consumer too. But yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Of course, with UT Extension, we are in the business of trying to help our stakeholders best we can, providing real life solutions for folks on the farm and youth development, as well as in family consumer sciences. Hayden, how has Extension been impactful to you and your operation?
So Extension's been impactful a lot, really through the Beefmaster and the cost share. Starting out, stuff's expensive, and it really helps a young guy get started, and really under all the classes you sit through are really helpful, understanding better weed control, pasture, stuff like that. It really helps. And then Extension has got the mobile squeeze chute for people that have got separated farms but don't have catch pens and a bunch of squeeze chutes laying around to work all their cows. So Justin's been so kind to bring out the mobile squeeze chute from time to time and help set it up and do demos and stuff, shows how it works, and let us use it for working calves, cows, whatnot.
Got it. How do you feel that Extension impacts other farmers within our community?
I think it helps other farmers. It helps some of the older guys it teaches them new tricks and new stuff to use. Not everything's just, oh, I've done it like this always. There's some new stuff to learn. And then, especially with the cost share program, it's not just cattle, it's row crop, swine production, poultry production. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards. It helps everybody. So,
Good deal. And what would your operation look like without UT Extension?
Without UT Extension, probably had a lot more battle scars. They helped me get equipment, you know, to work cows and whatnot. Makes life easier. Helps me get some new equipment in. I don't have to use just old stuff that's way older than me. That and all the classes, you know, really helps. You learn new stuff. You learn stuff that you can't get and going to college. You can't. Just helps you learn new stuff, get you new equipment, just get you settled in and makes everything work smooth.
And we certainly hope to be able to work effectively with our farmers and stakeholders across the state, help to equip them for success. Once again, whether that be in agriculture, natural resources, youth development, or in the home with family consumer sciences. So once again, UT Extension's about real life solutions, and appreciate you, Hayden and J&J Farms, for having us out today.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Evangeline James, one of the 2 ag agents here in Bradley County, and today we are at the beautiful Apple Valley Orchard with
Chuck McSpadden.
And Chuck is going to show us around and teach us about apples, and we're going to just dive into some local agriculture that we have here in Bradley County and learn a little bit more about what makes his apples so sweet.
Folks often ask how I got into the apple business. Actually, I was sort of born into the business. My dad started an orchard over 50 years ago, and he actually started it by accident. My dad set 2 apple trees in the backyard, and over the next few years, we got up to 30 or 40 apple trees. And one day, my mom said, "Well, you enjoy your hobby so much, why don't you plant a bunch more?" Now, she thought he'd plant maybe 30 or 40 more trees, and the next day, my dad ordered 400. So that's sort of how we got started. We currently have around 13,000 trees in the orchard at this time, and we grow maybe, at this point with test varieties, we grow 30 different varieties of apples. I think my favorite thing about growing apples is my job is constantly changing. You know, we're getting in here to the end of November, and we'll start pruning trees here in December. We'll also start working on equipment that we need to get ready for the next season. Then as spring comes around, we'll start planting trees, we'll start fertilizing trees, we'll start protecting the trees from insects and disease. As we get into right after bloom, we'll start thinning the apples to where we've got too many on the tree, and that's something we'll be doing most of the summer, just general maintenance like mowing and all. And but then as fall comes around, we'll start harvesting apples and making cider and grading apples and selling them. So, you know, my job constantly changes. I don't have to do the same thing year round. I think that's my favorite thing. Growing apples, the biggest challenge is labor. Having enough labor to harvest the crop. I mean, you can grow a lot of apples, but if you don't have anyone to harvest them, that's our number one problem or concern. Yeah, we do make apple cider. We make cider usually from the 1st of August into January or early February, depending on how many apples we have to make and how many orders we have. We flash pasteurize our cider, which means we heat it for up to a minimum of 162 degrees for 15 seconds. That takes care of any 99.999% chance of E. coli. There's no such thing as the 100%, but that's a 5-log reduction, so that takes care of most chances of E. coli. Well, our bakery is one of our most, popular things. Everybody comes in for an apple fritter or a fried apple pie or an apple turnover or an apple dumplings are all very popular. Of course, fried apple pies are our most popular because that's a southern favorite. And unlike a lot of orchards, we use dried apples in our fried pies because that's just the way Grandma made them, so that's how we do it. So yeah, we sell a lot of pies and fritters and turnovers every day because if the front door's open, the bakery's open. Talk a little bit, we do a lot of field trips to schools. We're booked for roughly about 8 to 9 weeks solid every year. We actually at this point we have a group from one of the assisted livings out here doing a trailer ride. They like to come out in the afternoons when it gets a little warmer, and they do a trailer ride through the orchard and come in, get a pie and something to drink. We do have, several local vendors. We have a couple folks with honey one from Polk County, one from Ray County. We're always looking for some local products. So, agriculture is important because we all have to eat. And I would just encourage you to visit your local farmers that are selling their crops, whether, at the farmer's market or maybe they have a stand on their at their own farm. Just help support local agriculture because we're all involved in agriculture because we all eat.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out our other video series regarding local farmers and like our Facebook page, Bradley County Farmers Market. Links below include our Bradley County Extension office and our other Facebook pages. If you have any questions, please always contact our office and we're here to help and assist. And again, check out those other videos and keep an eye out for more next season. Have a great day.
Folks, we're here today with David Green and his son Tyler, who owns and operates the Greenview Farms and the Greenview Farms Market here in Campbell County, just east of La Follette off of Highway 63. David, can you give us a little background as to how long you've been farming and how you got started, and maybe a little bit about the journey along the way to how you got to where you are now?
Well, Tyler is actually 5th generation for our farm, so our family's been farming this land for some time since, when they started, TVA started to clear out for Norris Dam and start flooding the land, and that's when my great-grandfather came out of Flat Hollow and moved up here to the valley. That's kind of what started the farm, and then it's been diversified through the years. Was a cow-calf operation with just crops to feed your family, and then my dad and my great-uncle went into the dairy business in 1962, and the dairy continued until 1997, and we went back to a cow-calf operation at that time. And cow-calf operation was okay. We ran the farm efficiently that way, but Tyler decided he would like to be back on the farm and run the farm, so we decided to diversify here about 3 years ago. And so Tyler is managing the farm full time. I'm here part of the time. I still do some consulting work off the farm, doing nutrition work, but we decided to build a store, and Tyler can share a little with you about what we do with the store.
Okay. Before we get into that, I know that you were pretty active as a 4-H member as a young man and showed a lot of really good dairy cattle back in the day. What extension programs have you taken advantage of, either currently or since that?
Well, 4-H has been a lot to me through the years. As you said, we grew up showing cattle and working with extension, our 4-H extension agent that way. And as it's gotten older, I don't have, my kids are not showing now. They're all older than that, but we rely on the extension service very heavily for, whether it be the Ag Enhancement Program, keeping us up to date on our Master Beef program. But, first and foremost, I think one of the biggest benefits that we have is you, Steve, you're a farmer just like we are, and on-farm experience means a lot more than just anything we can learn out of the book. So we have somebody we can rely on to give us actual feedback of what happens on farms, and that's valuable to all of us here. We're fortunate in Campbell County to have you.
Well, thank you. What's something unique or special about your operation here?
Go ahead.
I think one of the unique things that would stand out to me about our operation is our store. You know, like my dad said a couple of years ago, we were able to start from the ground up and build a market that is not only benefits us, but it benefits our community as well. You know, we're able to sell our product from start to finish, so we're able to offer a farm-to-table product, and also we have an outlet for farmers that have extra produce around here. We buy their local produce and resell through the store, and try to help them out, because I know a lot of people they love to put out a big garden, but they don't have a whole lot of place to go with it. And instead of letting it go to waste, we try to help them out and give them an outlet to make some income off of their hard work.
We've also started the building that we're sitting in here today. We have bluegrass gospel or music events third Saturday of every month, and you know, we're going to be hosting a rodeo. We'll be hosting a truck and tractor pull here, and so it gives us a little avenue. I don't know whether you call it agritourism or if it's just farm diversification, but you know, in today's time, you know, agriculture can be very difficult, so we feel like the diversification is going to help us be sustainable in the future.
All right, fellas. I sure do appreciate your time today and want to wish you best of luck here at Greenview Farms.
Thank you.
All right, go. Start out with what's your name, your farm name, and
I'm Martin Daniel of Martin Daniel Farms.
what all counties where all do you farm?
Farm in Cannon, Warren County, farm corn, wheat, and soybeans, and livestock.
Have cows and calves, or?
Cows, calves.
Good deal. So pretty well. How long have you been farming?
Pretty well all my life.
Pretty well.
I've had a good life. Enjoyed it.
Can you talk about some of the changes you've seen in agriculture over time?
When we started, we had a 4-row planter. Now we've got a 24-row planter. And combine technologies, all those steers on the machinery, everything's changed. And it's a lot better way to do now. You can cover a lot more acres.
What role does Extension play in helping you on your farm?
Every time we got a little problem, we can call Extension and they fall in and help.
Any particular challenges you face at farming?
Right now, during times right now, is the commodity prices. They're going to have to change, in my opinion.
Is there anything that you wish more people kind of understood about farming and agriculture in general?
Well, some of the newcomers don't understand the role that has to be played in farming. Now hours are put in.
Yep. What does the future of agriculture look like?
I think it'll be good, I think, because of time consumption and you gotta love it to do it.
Pretty well said. Okay.
What's your name?
Michael Nidifer.
What's your farm name?
Nidifer Farms. Elizabeth and Tennessee. We live in the Stony Creek community of Carter County.
Okay. What commodities do you grow?
We have a beef cow and calf operation. We grow corn, we grow hay, we grow alfalfa hay to sell. We have grown vegetables. We grew pumpkins for years and sweet corn and vegetables to sell like potatoes.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
They answer questions that I may be in doubt of as far as chemicals, seed quality or seed types, varieties. If I have a vaccine question or a cow question, that they can find out the answer. If they don't know it, they have a endless amount of people that they can call and ask questions if they don't know.
How long have you been farming and how did you get started?
Well, sixth generation farmer. My daddy started me at an early age, setting the back, carrying the water bucket.
Have you seen any changes in agriculture over the years?
We truly have. When I was younger, every farm in Carter County had tobacco, they grew tobacco, and they had their own gardens, they had their own milk cows, their own chickens for eggs and for meat. Now, I think people think if they're going to get meat, they need to go to Food City or they need to go to McDonald's to get a hamburger or get milk to drink. But we've seen a change in the way that people looks where their food's coming from. They're not as aware of the things that go into producing things that we eat. And we've also seen a change in Carter County because of the tobacco allotments are not here anymore. We've seen people go into agritourism and especially maybe even some row crops like the vegetables and things. But I've seen that happen, and it's changing as we speak.
What challenges do you face in farming?
The biggest challenge is going to be labor. You know, we have family farms, but our families, as they mature and they have their own families, they have their own issues that they have to deal with, and they may not be available to help us as much as they were. And somebody still has to be able to do all the upkeep and all the maintenance and all the things that have to be done on the farm.
What do you like about farming?
It's a way of life. It's something that you feel every morning when you get up, and the enjoyment that you see whenever a cow has a new baby calf, or you get to mowing a real pretty good crop of hay and smelling it and seeing it roll when it's over with. It's just a good feeling.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
Well, all that it entails from the beginning to the end. They have no idea of the seeds that have to be planted, be it corn or soybeans or even anything that we eat that we have to grow. They just do not understand what it takes to produce something for the people to eat.
We're ready.
All right. Here we go. So, what's your name, your farm name, and what counties your farm located in?
I'm Hank Batts, Oakdale Farm in Cheatham County.
Okay. What kind of commodities do you grow and raise?
Hay, corn, and pumpkins.
All right. What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
I use them quite often to come out and look at any problems I have or to bring in unknown vegetables or unknown weeds.
Nice. How long you been farming and how'd you get started?
Been farming for 55 years. I started by helping the neighbors on their farms, and they in turn got me started raising tobacco on mine.
Nice. What's something unique or special about your farm?
It's been in our family since 1816.
Oh,
I'm the 8th generation farmer on it.
Nice. What's your typical day look like?
Usually up by around 5 or 5:30, try to get in the field by 8 or 8:30, and a lot of times I'm just trying to keep a hay crop in good shape, bush hogging around the edges, and try to stop by 5:30. But during the hay season, it's a lot different.
Yeah. Have you seen changes in agriculture over the years?
So much, it's not even funny.
All right. What kind of changes you seen?
Well, I first started, I plowed my tobacco with a mule.
Okay.
And of course now it's all done with tractors. Used to have to put all poison on and sucker oil on by hand. Mm-hmm. Now you can spray it. There's a lot of things I've seen change.
Mm-hmm. What challenges do you face in farming?
Trying to make a living, for one thing. keeping the neighbors from being aggravating.
What do you like about farming?
I get to set my own schedule most of the time. I'm being outside, get to watch nature.
Nice. What do you wish more people understood about farming?
How difficult it really is and what goes into it. Most people say he's just a farmer, but they don't realize that you have to be a veterinarian, a chemical engineer almost, to take a mechanic, what I've been doing for the past week.
Yeah.
I mean, it just takes so many different things that you have to know about.
Nice. All right, last one. What does the future of agriculture look like?
Going to have to be a whole lot more done with less cropland. We see cropland disappearing every day, and we're going to have to make gains on our production end per acre.
All right. That's all.
My name is Amy Rakes, and I am co-owner-operator with my husband Kelly at End of the Road Acres here in Enfield, Tennessee. We raise meat sheep, Katahdin breed. It's a wonderful meat. A lot of people in the United States have not tried lamb meat, and so we are in love with it, and we hope to bring a different new product really to the local community. That's kind of our focus. And for us, we came having to pay cash for everything, and we didn't have inherited tractors, and we had to hit the ground running. The name of our business is Ain't Mutton to It Production. So we want to, at some point in the future, have a production facility where we can process the meat. Right now, we're just working on local, working with local people that are kind of far away. So that's kind of goes back to the whole community thing, to have a community situation where, you know, animals can be slaughtered and you can have meat quickly, and you don't have to rely on some kind of a international food chain that gets clogged up. We come from a non-farming background. My husband was military. We knew that we wanted to be on a farm. Our knowledge base was anything we could find on the internet, Google, YouTube. But until we got hooked up with Steve Rickman in Chester County, he just was a tremendous help from the very beginning, before we even closed on the property, actually helping us, you know, directing us in the UT Extension has been extremely helpful and integral, I think, into the success that we've had thus far.
As we step into the heart of Upper East Tennessee in the city of Tazewell, we visit a local farm and sit down with a producer who is passionate about agriculture, his business, and the land he calls home. Let's see what he has to say about his operation. What is your name, your farm name, and the county or counties where your farm is located?
My name is Whit Shuford. I'm the current operator of Fugate Farms located in Claiborne County, Tennessee.
What commodities do you grow or raise for your operation?
We raise Angus cattle for our on-site butcher shop where we sell directly to the public.
When asked what role the University of Tennessee Extension plays in supporting his farming operation, Whit shared this insight.
Extension services play a vital role in the success and sustainability of my farm operation. Through research-based education and on-the-ground support, they provide timely, practical guidance that directly impacts my decision-making, whether it's assistance with forage and pasture management, livestock health and nutrition, or integrated pest control strategy. Extension helps ensure I'm using the most effective and environmentally responsible practices.
Whit's farm is more than just a place to get fresh meat cuts from his in-house butcher shop. It's a central hub for the community. He opens his venue to around 30 other local producers who offer everything from canned goods to handmade soaps, honey, and much more, truly making his business a cornerstone for the community.
Well, my name is Riss Rich. Farm name would be Jenny Ridge Farm. And we've been, I guess you'd say we've been, I don't know how to answer that really. I've been involved in farming all of my life. I'm the 6th generation here. But I guess I would say on my own accord since 1988, probably since I got out of college.
Good deal. What county or counties do you operate in?
We only operate in Clay County.
Only Clay County. Yeah. Okay. Of course, what commodities do you grow or raise?
We're pretty diversified, I guess you might say. We poultry, beef cattle, sheep, goats, and we also we do some retail meat sales. Okay. And we also from time to time do some fruits and vegetables.
All right. What role does Extension play in your farm? You know, assistance-wise or anything like that you'd care to share?
Well, Extension is just a huge source of information, whether that's production type information or even most recently with us when we've had some problems, you know, with feed and other things, that they've certainly been a source to go to help try to resolve some of those problems. So Extension is just a wealth of information from our local agents all the way up to the specialists at the state staff.
My name is Jimmy Brooks. My farm name is the Brooks Farm. I reside in Cott County. I run a cow-calf operation. Also, I do raise several horses and likewise a lot of hay as well. I do keep in contact with my local extension agent. She's very helpful, especially in the when we had the disaster of Helene, and as well as even before that, we were in a master beef class learning about cow-calf operations as well as farm management. So she's been very helpful in my day-to-day workings of the farm. Right now I'm doing a mutual study on crabgrass. Like I said, we've had a lot of damaged pasture fields here in hay ground, so Sarah was nice enough to recommend that I would start the crabgrass and give some weekly reports on how it was doing, and today she has come up to make sure that I'm doing what she has forced on me to do. I've been farming all my life. My dad was raised on a farm, and I had to follow him through the tobacco patch, to the hay fields, and it's always something I've always done. So I hope I can do that until the good Lord brings me to home. So that's it, pretty much in a nutshell. I've actually started, once he died, I did kind of take over the managerial part of it instead of just being the workers. That's been going on since 2015. We raise a lot of horses. We got a lot of stock bloodlines that we've had for 35 years, and we're still running that bloodline. So not a lot of farms, whether it's horses, cows, whatever, has that longevity of a bloodline. So that's sort of what I'm proud of. And I pushed it down to my daughter and nieces and nephews. In order to have my farm, I have to have a supplementary income. So I do get up at 4:30 every morning, go to work about 8 hours there, and then come home, and then whatever my daily chores are, whether it's feeding, watering, working in hayfield, each day is unique, so it's never the same thing 2 days in a row. I think a lot of my dad's friends, which I always growed up around and stuff, they've slowly got old and either retired or died out. I don't see a lot of their siblings or their kids coming up and doing what I'm doing. So I think it's farming in this area. I think it's dying out. So, and I hate to see that. I wish that more people understood is that if you're in it for the money, you're going to lose. I think money is the driving force for everything, but just being able to watch a newborn calf run through the field for the first time, or a newborn colt, the same. or looking back and seeing that you got a field full of hay that you've got up in the dry and able to sustain your cows, horses, whatever through that season, through that winter. So that's the most rewarding part I get. I think young people, I think they have to start slow. They can't go in and buy all new equipment. They've got to go to these estate sales, buy something used, something that they can work on, and then just gradually build up their whatever they're doing, whether it's acreage, animals, whatever. I think you have to start slow and again, just work your way up. Be willing to listen to your elders, because they do have a lot of good knowledge that they would be glad to hand it down. So don't be so bullheaded, pig-headed. Be afraid to listen to somebody that may have some better ideas or live through the experiences that you're going through right now that might help you out.
Go. Good morning. My name is Trudy Guthrie, and my husband Lewis and I are owners of Journey Farm Pasture Beef in Tullahoma, and we raise Angus Wagyu cross pasture beef, half and halves. Halves are wholes only. We have about 15 to 17 product a year, and we're grass only, grass fed, grass finished, and we love. We're basically grass farmers that raise cattle. That's kind of our philosophy, because if we don't have grass, we don't have grass-finished cattle. So this is kind of our calving season, so we're in one of the paddocks with the moms and the babies, and they're all very content at this moment. Let's see, what was my next question, Amy? Sorry.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
Extension, my word for Extension is resource. They are a fabulous resource, not only for agriculture as far as the farmers are concerned, and I've learned so much more about the capacity of UT Extension and what they do. For us in agriculture, we do soil tests, we do hay tests, because again, we're grass people, hay's grass. But in the long run, we have learned so much about, during the Master Beef Producer classes. They offer so many classes, not only for cattle, but for small ruminants, chickens, everything. But what I love about them, and they are such a supporter of the youth, because the youth need to be the end-all, be-all for any kind of agriculture that we do. So they are such a resource, all caps. Their staff is a great resource, their literature is a great resource, their online information is a great resource. More and more people need to know about it and use it. So for us, I don't know, we would not be where we are without the UT Extension and the resources they have and the people they have to mentor us along the way.
How did you get started in farming?
Perfectly accidental. We thought a retirement project would be to buy 150 acres, put a cow out there and be fine. Yeah, not so much. That's probably, raising cattle is probably not a good retirement project. We've loved it. It's been absolutely wonderful. We've learned so much, again, that we did not know, and every day we do it. But we were two computer people that kind of happened upon this incredible opportunity to be a good steward of God's land, because that's what we really are. We're just here temporarily, and the farm's come a long way. But without people like UT Extension, Amy and her team, we would not have the opportunity to learn and to do better every day is our goal.
I'm Terry Gupton. I farm here in Cumberland County. I've got 263 acres here on Potato Farm Road. And I'm a beef cattle operation. We are now breeding mostly South Pole cattle. And as you can see them in the background here, a lot of them are slick-hided is what we like, and have less flies, and they finish good on grass, and well, that's kind of what our program is. We are in a rotational grazing situation. We try to rotate as need be, mostly 1 to 2 days rotation. And we have in this particular paddock, we've got probably about, I believe it's 56 mature animals, and we've got 38 calves in here. Some of the animals, of course, are bred heifers that will calve in the next spring. So they're all in here. We have AI'd 19 of the heifers, and then we've turned the bull in here, and I don't know where he's in the picture or not, but he's around here. And so that's kind of our program. We sell freezer beef, we sell hives and wholes, we sell steaks. If you want to come by and just buy a steak, we have that available too. We have a Tennessee Department of Agriculture license to sell retail. We also sell a lot of breeding stock. Usually once a year we'll sell some heifers. We don't sell bulls yet. We might sometime, but right now we don't. We've been promoting rotational grazing and regenerative grazing for several years. And we, every once in a while, we'll have a group out to see our operation and try to help them learn something about the rotational system and how to keep their grass growing and not run out of forage. Greg and the Extension Service here has helped me in a lot of ways. I have a question about herbicides or plants or seed, amount of seed you need to seed, all kinds of agronomic questions I call and get information on. So.
All right.
I'm Bob Strasser. I'm a 4th generation farmer in Davidson County is the home farm. I also have a farm in Robertson that overlaps into Montgomery County.
Alrighty. And what are the commodities that you grow or raise?
Well, after 35 years of dairying, I transitioned over to row crops, beef cattle, and horse hay.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
Being a UT graduate with an animal science degree, I have always maintained a relationship with Extension and thoroughly enjoyed their field days. And anytime I run up on something that I need an answer, I call Extension. They're a resource for those hard questions, or, hey, have you ever seen this before?
What do you wish people would understand about farming?
It's so complex, I don't know where you start, but the risk we take financially, the things that are stacked against us that we cannot control, the weather, geopolitics, which affect the markets, the complexity of the work. You know, I'm a jack of all trades, so just that knowing what's involved and where their food comes from would be great.
Yeah, and you said you're a 4th generation farmer. How long have you been farming, and where did you get started?
Well, my family started farming in Davidson County in 1885, so there have been Strassers farming here for 140 years this year. I grew up on the family farm that my father and his two brothers, my uncles, operated. Went to college, worked a couple years off the farm, bought my uncles out, and started on my own in 1982. So this is my 43rd crop.
My name's Larry Fisher. We go under Fisher Farms. Fisher Farms, I was raised on a farm that was belonged to the Fishers in the early 1800s. It's an old farm, and that's how I got started farming, because I grew up doing it. Raised soybeans and corn and some cattle. We farm in Decatur County. Well, the extension service is a very important thing to farmers, and it's not just the grain farmers and stuff. They help with regulations. They help train us on all of our licenses and things that we have to get. They not only help the farmers, they help the people that garden and all that. They're just a very important part of the farming.
So how long have you been farming, and how did you get started farming?
Well, I grew up on the farm, picking and hoeing cotton. Said I never would farm, but after a few years I began just a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more, and when we quit construction work and stayed home, it got to be a full-time job. So I guess I've been pretty much doing it all my life.
What are some challenges you face farming?
Well, that one's not too hard to answer. There's a multitude, but you know, our marketing, that's one of the major things. Commodity prices are volatile, they're up and down. You can't really plan ahead what you're going to grow or how it's going to come out. Government regulations are a problem. The weather is a problem. The wildlife, I mean, it just goes on and on. Farming's got a lot of enemies.
So what is your favorite thing about farming?
Well, that's not too hard to answer. You see where we are, and you look around and you can see some of God's creation, and you can see it firsthand. You're part of it, and it's just an amazing thing. It's a good lifestyle.
My name is Kent Cripps. I'm in DeKalb County, Tennessee. We call our farm Circle C Cattle Company, or Life on Health and Creek.
What commodities do you grow and raise here?
I have a small commercial cow herd and hay, and we do a little gardening.
What role has Extension played in helping you with your farm?
I've asked advice all through my career as far as fertility information, seeding recommendations, things like that. Really like the Master Beef and the Master Series. I've done Master Beef several times. I've done Master Farm Manager, and I'm going to try to do the Master Forage this year.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started in it?
My family's farmed forever, so I kind of grew up in it. I didn't grow up on the farm, but I was involved with it my whole life, and so 50, 60 years. I've got photographs of sitting on an old Farmall tractor in 1965. So,
what are some of the changes that you've seen in agriculture over your time?
I've seen all sorts of technology changing. GPS tracking for marking our fields, boundaries, and the varieties of seeds that have come on to increase the yields.
What are some of the challenges that you feel like you face in farming today?
Well, obviously prices, fertilizer prices are kind of hit or miss. Right now cattle's pretty high, but I've seen them kind of low. So input costs kind of go up faster than the income. So that's kind of a challenge, is to be as efficient as I can be and try to maximize my fertilizer efficiency and make sure my cows are healthy and creating a good product.
All right.
Hey, my name is Brad Nelson. My wife Lacey and I own Nelson Ridge Farm in Dickson County, Tennessee. She's been here. This is her family farm. So since the 70s, her family's been here. And I just retired from the Army not long ago. We were all together, but we've moved back here to the family farm for the last few years. And we've started a choose and cut Christmas tree farm and a small hay operation. So our farm is one of the only, I think in Dickson County, it might be the only choose and cut Christmas tree farm. We have the opportunity for an agritourism business here. In the off seasons, we do hay, and that's pretty typical for farms around our area. And the thing we like about farming is every day is different. And so right now we are in big time hay season, our first cutting since all the rain delayed the cutting. We're just now finishing our first cutting and getting all the hay back to the barn here and getting it sold. And then we'll concentrate on Christmas trees, shearing them into the Christmas tree shape for the next month or so. And then we'll move maybe off into second cutting for hay. So we are heavily reliant on our extension, especially the ag agent. Early on in her career, she came and looked at our operation, and she's been with us every step of the way. We count on the extension office for our soil tests and our hay, our forage tests. So we get all that testing done through the extension office. So heavily reliant and thankful for the extension. This is our retirement dream. After the Army, we've retired, and really now we're just into sustaining ourselves here on the farm, making a little money into the future. So this is our retirement business, and we're having a good time at it.
Extension means a security blanket, more or less, that we can rely on them, and then they have resources beyond the county level that they can go to when we really have things happening that they're maybe not aware of, that other specialists in the system can come forth and help us, or they may have the answer right away. They may have already seen that. So we've had a long and productive relationship with the Extension. They can do things in a non-biased way that help us. I mean, they rely on us to tell them what we need, and then they can adjust their programs accordingly. Yes, Extension is a great tool that we have in Tennessee, that when we're around other farmers from other states, and especially in our commodity organizations, they don't have the same experience with Extension as Tennessee does.
Coming by today, just for our viewing audience, what's your name, your farm name, and the county where your farm is located?
My name's Gary Deering. The farm is Ghost River Cattle Company, and I'm located in Fayette County.
And on your farm, what commodities do you raise?
I raise beef cattle.
Okay. And Extension, what role does Extension play in helping you on your farm?
Probably the only reason I'm still in the farm is because of the Extension. I'm a first generation, and when I bought my farm, I had no idea what I was buying. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And through the Extension and through classes that the Extension offered, and through First Thursday, which we call our Fayette County Cattlemen's Association and all that, they led me in the way of helping me to have my forage and to get the cattle and make sure I took care of them so that they would grow and I'd have become profitable. So I can't say enough good about the Extension, and because of them, I'm where I'm at today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Just two more questions. What do you wish more people understood about farming?
I think the biggest thing is that we're not farmers. We grow grass, at least on the cattle side.
we're really concerned about the environment. I mean, if we don't have grass and our environment goes to pot, it doesn't help anybody. And so I think that the more people can get around our farms and see how we take care of our animals and what we do with our animals, they'll understand that we as farmers are really environmentalists, and we really do concern ourselves about the future.
My last question, what does the future of agriculture to you look like?
I think it looks outstanding. People still want to eat, and because of that, there's great opportunities. It's going to be challenging. We can see right now with the government and some of the chemicals that they're trying to take away from us. The trade, in terms of the trade wars we're in, there's a lot that's going on. Being a member of the Tennessee Cattlemen Association, I get to see a lot of that. But you know, it's been there. It's always been there. And it's up to us as farmers to stay in touch and keep going and make sure that our opinions are known. And I feel very positive about the future, and I'm excited to be in this industry.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
All right, we're out here in Fentress County. We're here with Jason Canancer of Triple C Farms. What is your name, and then what county are you located in?
My name's Jason Canancer, located in Fentress County, Tennessee.
And what commodities do you grow, Jason?
We're quite diversified. We do livestock, we do commercial broiler chickens, and we also do soybeans.
Okay. How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
Well, my grandpa had retired and stuff, and he was farming, and we got this farm and started in 1993.
1993. What role does Extension play in helping you in your farming endeavors?
I've reached out to the local agent, helped me with disease management and stuff like that in my soybeans. We do yearly hay samples, enter some into the state contest and things. It's very beneficial having a good local agent to help you with any questions and stuff that you have along the way.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
Well, previously mentioned with my grandpa and stuff, and then my dad retired and we started doing broiler chickens and stuff. So, I mean, I come up to it from 93 on, and it's just been a family operation.
What's something unique about your farm?
Probably just the diversification. I mean, we don't use commercial fertilizer where we have the chicken houses with our row crops, and then in our hay production and stuff for the cattle. And we try to keep everything organic as much as we can, using the composted litter and stuff. So I would say just some diversity.
Yields on the soybeans with the chicken compost pretty good, or
usually do pretty good. We're up here on the plateau, so we see usually some reduced yields. We usually average around 63 to 65 bushel an acre, counting edges and everything. So we're happy with that.
Sure. So what does a typical day look like for you and Jacob here on the farm?
Typical day, usually come in, get started with the chickens, make sure we don't have any problems, get through those, and then move over to the livestock side. Once we get done with the livestock, then typically go around, see any other problems, fences, stuff, and go from there. I mean, it just depends on the time of year.
Hay season's different, and harvest season's different, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any changes over the last few years in agriculture, as far as you can tell?
Yeah, there's been a lot of price fluctuations on the grain side and the beef side. I know the beef market's strong right now. It typically hasn't been. Beans and corn prices are a little lower, especially with input cost and things. I mean, and then finding help and stuff like that along the way. I mean, it's all challenging in agriculture these days.
Sure. What do you wish more people in the public knew about farming or understood about farming?
As far as just a general public awareness deal, as far as just the time and effort that has to go into producing food sources for the economy. I mean, like the broiler end of it, or raising the crops and stuff. I don't know if the general public understands exactly how much time and stuff that goes into all this for the return that they see when they go to a supermarket or something like that.
Okay. In your opinion, what do you think the future of agriculture looks like?
It's going to be very technology driven. I mean, in the broiler industry and stuff, we're already seeing changes over the last few years with more computerized stuff. I know on the row crop end of it, we run older stuff, but a lot of the people's got the new technology and stuff, and I can see where that would pay off. I mean, more precise agriculture, precise spraying and stuff. And then on the livestock side of it, I mean, keeping up with the genetic potentials, long range tracking, EPDs and stuff. I mean, it's going to be technology. It's going to be the way.
One piece of advice for young people that are getting into farming or want to get into farming.
Make sure that you love the area of farming that you do, because it will make your days more pleasant when stuff don't go good. You have them down days and you've just got to trudge through it to get to the better days. Make sure the aspect of farming that you're doing, that you enjoy doing it and you're not just doing it for a lifestyle.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
I'm Andrew Dixon. I'm Philip Dixon.
And I'm Steve Dixon. We farm in Franklin County, and we grow corn, wheat, soybeans, hay, straw, and pumpkins, and cattle.
Extension plays a major role in our operation. From the row crop side, we can call up our local extension office and talk about chemicals that work in our area for the crops that we're growing, or down to talk about soil samples and what the analysis means for our operation. On our agritourism side, we use the Center for Profitable Agriculture a lot from before day one. When we had the initial idea, they were the first ones we went to hey, is this a good idea or not? And because we don't want to jump into something if it's not going to work for us. So we've been to a lot of workshops over the years that Extension's put on and try to really utilize that resource that we have.
I started farming, was farmed as a child, but in '81 when I graduated, when I actually started having my own enterprise. I had us a few sows, and but then I've been working with my family, with my father, and we still work with my father farming and with my two sons. And my dad started back in the late '60s, and so we've been part of this area for a good while. Wire farmers is unique because we've had to figure out what would work for us. And as my boys got older and my daughter, we started doing Green Days Farm, and the agritourism has been a unique thing that you don't see that many farms in the area have. And so just meeting the public and trying to be a home place for young families to be able to come and have a good time. I have seen quite a few changes in my lifetime on the farm. Grew up with a neighbor that still worked with horses and such, as far as plowing and such. Now it's changed to where it's a few people doing what everybody else, a lot of people used to do. And technology has changed a whole lot as far as now I have a 86-year-old father that if his auto steer don't work, he's wanting us to get it going. And so farming's changed. There's just a lot of little things that we take for granted.
Farming, there's so many challenges every day, and you get used to the breakdowns and the challenges with the weather, financial challenges and stuff, and nothing really catches you by surprise too often because you never know what's about to happen or what phone call you're going to get next.
What I personally like about farming is that there's room to grow in certain areas. What I find more interesting is the cattle and soybeans. There's a lot more limits to be pushed on soybeans that have been experiencing with planting early, like in March and April, and putting extra potash on soybeans and getting calving season in a certain time of year where it's more efficient weaning and also selling.
We're generations removed from the farm now, and so it's just your day in, day things people don't fully understand because it's not their fault, it's just because they're not in it every day. A lot of things that on the farm have to happen very timely. Things have to be planted in a certain window, things have to be sprayed in certain windows, and harvested too on time, because you can do everything right all throughout the year, but if you can't get your crop harvested at the right time at the end, it was all for nothing. The future of agriculture, I think, is very exciting to think about because just in the last 20 years, the changes that I've seen in agriculture and the advances have been really tremendous, I think. And I think about my grandfather that farms with us at 86 years old, and think about the technology and everything he's changed, seen as he's gone along. It's really cool to think about where we're going to be in another 50 years. So much has changed in the last 20, so it's an exciting outlook, I think.
What is your name, your farm name, and the county where you're located?
Brian Flowers, Flowers Dairy Farms and Flowers Creamery, Giles County, Tennessee.
What commodities do you grow and raise?
Number one is milk, dairy, beef, corn, soybeans, and hay.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
We work with them a lot on issues like ag in the classroom, and work on diseases on crops, and verifying weeds and stuff in crops.
How long have you been farming, and when did you get started?
Been farming 29 years, and I was born and raised on a dairy, and started up my own dairy in October of '96.
What's something unique or special about your farm?
We grow the feed, milk the cow, and then we use the milk to make cheese, and we bottle chocolate and non-homogenized cream line milk.
What does a typical day look like for you on your operation?
Summertime, get here early in the morning, check over the fresh, the dry cows and the calves, and then start pushing cows to the robots, and then doctoring cows, breeding cows, feeding cows, and then head on, get in the tractor usually and go spray, or depends on what time of the year it is, or do hay or something in the fields, and then come back to the barn in the afternoon.
Have you seen any changes in agriculture over the years?
Yeah, technology's gotten pretty big. I guess, like I say, I went from a double 5 herringbone to a double 8 parallel, and now to 3 robots that does the cows milking.
What challenges do you face in farming?
Number one is probably land issue. A lot of people moving into the state and just making the land too high to afford to be able to farm it.
What do you like about farming?
I just raising the crops and watching the cows, growing the cows, and tending to the cows, and just being out wide open.
How do you ensure success of your operation?
When you're out on the street, somebody says, "Hey, I tried some of your cheese, and that's the best I ever ate," or "My kids will only eat your cheese," or I even had "My dog will only drink your milk." I guess that's.
How do you motivate yourself to do the best for your operation?
I don't have any choice. You gotta be motivated to do this for the little amount of money that you make.
I'm Howard Morgan of Morgan Farms. My mother and my dad brought me up in this, my grandpa and my grandma, and it's a good life, but it's a hard life.
I'm Danny Morgan of Morgan Farms, and I was raised up by my dad starting farming, and we're a 5th generation farmer, with my son coming along being the 5th generation. The farm started back in 1917 with my great-grandfather, James Harvey Morgan, Ruth Morgan. They're growing strawberries, field corn, hay, cattle, and then my grandfather started Granger County tomatoes, and my dad, and me, and then my son's gonna follow as well.
3 or 4 crops of tomatoes and sweet corn, watermelons, cantaloupes, green beans, and him with the peppers and the pickles, odds and ends of everything grown on the farm.
So Danny, how does Extension help you on the farm?
Well, it helps us find out about diseases, the fertilizer programs, TEAP programs, and just generally anything you really, if you have a problem, our extension agent, Anthony Carver, is here to help us.
Okay, they go eat breakfast, they eat dinner, they eat supper. They don't realize what the American farmer's going through to pick this stuff up, to put the food in the stores and this and that. A lot of people don't think how that come and where it come from. What I want the people to know about farming, I farmed all my life, and farming is a good life, it's a hard life, but the way things is going back in the 70s and 80s, I made more money then I made now, and things is getting so much harder material-wise, of buying fertilizer, chemicals, and odds and ends of everything. Everything's tripled in price, and we're getting no more money out of our tomatoes. We done better back in the 70s and 80s at $25 a bushel than we'll do now to 115 or 20. Like I told you before, we was to spin our wheels forward. Now then we're spinning them backwards, or going backwards. We're going in the hole instead of making, we're going back in the hole.
How long does it take you to get a tomato?
Tomato, about 75 days.
That's one tomato.
Yeah.
One tomato.
Kind of give me the typical way that you grow from seed. Kind of talk me through that.
Okay. What we do, we'll take small flats. We grow our own plants. We come from seedlings. And then we go from seedlings into a 12 insert. And when you're growing this tomato, it's got to have food, it's got to have water, and it's got to have tender loving care to grow this tomato.
And then you transplant them into the greenhouses.
Transplant them into the greenhouses, and most of the time it's around the first of May before we start harvesting. And then we harvest from around the first, second week of May, plumb into August. Yeah.
Okay, we grow this farm together, and there's a lot more people involved. Mother and sister packing tomatoes, and then all of our kids, my sister's kids involved as well.
All grandkids, I ain't forgetting my grandkids, I can't leave them out. I like to mention my brother Donnie for doing my hauling, and Cole, his grandson.
Well, what I like about farming is I like to watch things grow. I like to do it in general. I love to do it. We make a living, raise our family up in it, and good Lord just been good enough to let us do it. Give us the experience and the knowledge to do it. And I just love it.
Okay, we are in Hamblin County doing our farmer videos for the state fair. First of all, what is your name?
Hello, I'm Ben Gilbert.
And your farm names?
So the produce and pumpkin side of our operation operates under Gilbert Pumpkins and Produce. The cattle side of our business operates under Slate Hills Cattle Company.
And which counties are your farms located?
We currently farm in Hamblin, Cocke, Jefferson, and Greene County.
Okay, and what commodities do you raise or grow?
Starting with the produce side, we do pumpkins, strawberries, winter squash, summer squash, sweet corn, cabbage, and cucumbers. We'll also do corn, soybeans, wheat. We have sunflowers for our agritourism site, and we do also do mums as well.
Okay, what about your livestock side?
Livestock, we have a cow-calf operation as well as a backgrounding operation where we're bringing in smaller calves and taking them to a heavier weight that we then ship out in semi-loads to the feedlots up north.
How have you worked with UT-TSU Extension in your farm?
I've worked with them very closely on a lot of different tasks, from the produce side to, like this past year with the strawberries, the new disease, neoplastidiosis, if I said that correctly. They give a lot of great information and help and how to manage and try to prevent that, as well as on the cattle side, to just a lot of different tips and trial work as far as feeding cattle as well.
What's something a little bit unique or special about your farm other than being very diversified?
Yeah, that's one thing we've kind of tried to do, is be diversified in our operation. To say we're unique, I don't know. We've tried a lot of different things, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's the story of farming, I think.
If one thing would be different, I failed to mention a while ago, is onions. This will be our second year in onions. We've got 9 acres of them, and that's a trial that's hopefully going forward.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
My name's Eugene McCauley. The counties that we're farming in are Meigs County and Hamilton County. And the name of our farm is Rockingham Farms. We primarily do beef cattle, hay production, and we do also raise timber. The extension agency, they provide us with great information, such as raising our warm season grasses, our master beef program, which helps us to have good selective genetics for our beef production. It's been very helpful in all these aspects, and we truly appreciate it and look forward to working with it in the future. I started farming when I was 7 years old, worked many different chores at that age that I was able to accomplish. I'm a 5th generation farmer, and we have been involved in several different aspects of farming. I love raising the beef cattle and teaching our grandchildren all the aspects of and the importance of agriculture. I love being outdoors. I love taking the younger generations and teaching them the aspects of agriculture, what it takes to produce a variety of different crops, cattle, and it's just a pleasure to work with them. I also love serving on our local farm bureau. I feel like we are a voice of agriculture, even at a small local level or a large statewide level, that we protect what valuable natural resources that we have.
Tucked into the rolling hills of Hancock County, Tennessee, you'll find a legacy of hard work, innovation, and dedication rooted deep in the heart of Appalachia. Here lies Brooks Farms, a family-run operation led by Jerry Lee Brooks, a proud steward of the land and skies. Jerry Lee is more than just a farmer. He's a visionary. With his home base in Hancock County and acres stretching into Granger County, he's cultivated a diverse and dynamic operation that reflects both family tradition handed down from his father before him and forward thinking for the future of agriculture. From managing a cow-calf herd and producing high-quality forages to operating Brooks Farm Aerial Spraying LLC, Jerry Lee quite literally takes agriculture to new heights. Whether it's from the ground or the air, his commitment to excellence, efficiency, and environmental stewardship is unmistakable. As a longtime producer and dedicated agricultural professional, Jerry Lee has worked closely with the University of Tennessee Extension for many years. His involvement in a wide range of programs speaks to his commitment to continual growth, responsible stewardship, and agricultural excellence. When specifically asked what role University Extension plays in helping his operation, his reply is that they are a vital partner. Their guidance, resources, and expertise have helped shape the way he manages cattle, forages, and even the aerial spraying side of his business. Jerry Lee has been a repeating participant in the Master Beef Producer Program and Beef Quality Assurance, and he notes that both have helped him sharpen his management practices and prioritize animal welfare. Through pesticide certification and ongoing updates from Extension, he has been able to handle crop protection responsibly and efficiently, both on the ground and in the air. He also notes that Extension's assistance with the Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program has opened doors for strategic improvements that he may not have pursued otherwise. Jerry Lee also stated, more than anything, Extension helps producers like him make informed decisions, bringing university-backed research and boots-on-the-ground experience right to the farm. He can pick up the phone or attend a producer meeting and walk away with real solutions tailored to his needs. That kind of support is hard to put a price on.
Gary Parsons, Parsons Farm, LLC, Middleton, Tennessee, small cow-calving finishing operation. The uniqueness to the extension is brought to us as efficient systems, which means better hay production and better quality and health herd. We've been farming, we started with 16 acres for the first 6 years and we've moved on to now we run 87. Started with about 4 head and now we run about 30 on average per year. The uniqueness that we bring as finishing and cow-calving is the systems that we're able to produce. Through the extension and training and education, we've been able to get hay production up and the health of the herd is a lot stronger. Current challenges in farming, number one is always going to be cost of equipment, land, etc. Startup costs. The uniqueness of it is people are going to have to understand that you can't have it all in one day, and they're going to have to build equity over time. I think something that needs to be discussed and understood in the community is there are 7 million people in the state of Tennessee. We currently have about 1.75 million head. Of that, half of it is for beef production, and the other is for cow-calving. So what does that kind of mean? Is that we need to be able to process a half a cow per person per year. And we don't have those numbers anymore. And it's dwindling away. We have to preserve it. After spending 30 years working for the government in the Army, it's really nice to work for myself now. We did 110% ever since the towers came down in the Army, and you're not going to stop when you get out. So this is my therapy. It's how I stay busy and stay out of trouble. What do I wish more people understood about farming? The cost to do business, the land, the insurance, feed, meds, buildings, vehicles, sprayers, fertilizers. In the end, most farmers don't make very much versus processors because of the cost to do all this and be efficient. What does the future of agriculture look like? I think the real challenge is the youth taking a risk to come out here and build small. I mean, I don't know a farmer that doesn't have another job for insurances, etc., or a retirement. So yeah, getting involved. I think that the other challenge to farming right now is the prevention of the breakup of the big farms. through like death in the family and wills, where it gets separated and it doesn't stay together, and people just sell it off for the money.
Could you start off telling me a little bit about your farm, Jamie?
Yes, we are I would be the third generation farmer here. Grandfather started farming here on this location in 1936. My father carried it on, and then I picked up from my father. I got 4 boys that's carrying on from here with me. Hopefully one of them will take up and carry on further, but we are a beef cattle operation. We cow-calf pairs mainly. We also have corn, soybeans, and wheat. We farm around 2,500 acres, not counting our double crop stuff. I've been doing this myself, since I was a little bitty boy, and been doing it on my own, me and my boys, since 2011. That's kind of
But we noticed here we got some feed in a bagger here. Could you kind of talk a little bit about what you're doing to add value to your row crop production?
This is a business that we picked up a little bit less than 2 years ago. We had 2 hard years in a row. With the first 2023 crop year, we struggling on price of grain going down big time, and 2024 we had a huge drought. We was looking for another source of income coming in, and created this business. It's by far not a huge money maker, but it has grown a lot over the last 2 years. We try to sell mainly just our own products. Everything we have here except for sunflower seeds and Milo, which Milo is raised from a local farmer down the road, neighbor of mine, comes from what we actually grow here. We've got now about 25 different products on the list. We also are open to any customer that's wanting a different type of mix. We do all kind of custom stuff, anywhere from a 56 pound bag like you see here to barrels. We have food grade barrels, products that we make up. Also bulk bags, similar to the size of this box right here, but in a bag. We bag our products right here. All of our bags, we keep a pretty good selection on hand of that. We have been blessed with customers as far as 300 miles away coming out and buying our stuff. And we've probably got a little over 100 repeat customers right now, and we're thankful for that.
Well, we sure appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, Jamie.
Thank you.
With Mr. Anthony Tunnell, manager of the Tunnell Dairy Farm. And Anthony, how long have you been in the farming business?
Basically my entire life. I've been farming since I was long enough to walk. Feeding cows, helping milk, doing it all.
So tell us a little bit about the operation and where you started and kind of have progressed to over the last few years.
Originally started out milking cows, just a mixture of cows, Holstein, Jerseys, Brown Swiss, hand milking, putting in the milk cans, hauling it down to the creek to the branch, putting it in the spring box to keep it cool. Changed over and built the parlor, started milking 2 at a time, expanded again to 3 at a time, expanded again to 4 at a time, and we finally expanded to 10 at a time with 5 on each side, up to about 140 to 150 milk cows. But due to health issues. You know, I slacked off the dairy side and trying to switch over to beef and row crops, and that's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Blake, have you got any questions that you'd like to ask Mr. Tunnell today?
Yeah, I guess first thing is, or will be the last, what has Extension sort of done for you, maybe helped you in your operation?
Extension office, this really helps out when you get into problems and you don't know what to do or how to even calibrate a sprayer. They can give you tips on how to do it, but the biggest thing is where we is growing corn silage, and we went from the old-timey 2-row planter, went to a 4-row planter, and was trying to cut the cost down, fuel cost, time, and everything else, and we rigged up a sprayer to mount onto the corn planter, which goes back to the extension leader, Mr. Tom Bundy, who's retired now, and the university. They come up here and sat down with us and drew the plans out, and we put it together, and it worked really, really good. I mean, you didn't have to go through that field but one time. When you're ready to go plant corn, you spray and do your burn down the whole 9 yards at one given time, and it's just that one trip over the field and you're done. And of course that saved a lot of time and a lot of money. That really helps out. It's things like that really helps out.
Hi, I'm Grant Norwood. We live here in Henry County. We farm 3,000 acres of row crop. We're 100% no-till. When I talk about no-till, that means we plant our crop right into the ground without disturbing it prior to planting. We raise corn, soybeans, and winter wheat, and then follow the winter wheat with a double crop soybean, which means we harvest the wheat in June, plant the soybeans right behind so we can harvest again in November.
So how did you get started farming?
I'm a 5th generation farmer. In 1894, my ancestors moved here and settled the land, and we're farming the same land since then. We've taken care of it and been able to pass it along from generation to generation. My children will be the 6th generation and to take it over.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
Here on our farm, we try to do a lot of innovative things. We implemented cover crops early on, and we do other water control structures and different things like that to better the soil, to help the water control and to help improve the soil. We also work with Ag Launch, which works with startup companies to look at new technologies coming out. All these startup companies are taking different approaches to agriculture in hopes to better agriculture for the future, and we're really happy to get to look at these companies and help develop some of the products. We also work with other retailers and UT on different trials, from variety trials to fertilizer trials to just all kind of different trials across the farm to determine what works best on our farm and how to improve it, and how to help others in our area to improve their farm.
And what role has UT Extension played in helping your farm?
UT Extension has played a vital role in our farm. From growing up with 4-H, doing livestock judging and participating in the steer show at the fairs, to all kind of events that 4-H and UT provided, to as I grow up and become a vital role in the farm, working with UT has just been second nature to us. So they've been a vital role of our farm my whole career. Some of the roles that they've played is helping do variety trials. UT has also put on soybean scout schools. UT Extension has helped with a program with corn borers. We've done the traps for the corn borers, and we've also dug plants looking for corn borers. Spent a lot of hours out just running that trial and taking in information and data.
What extension means to me is, first thing I think about is partnership. How, when we look back in time, how veterinary medicine and agriculture have been tandem for a long period of time. And for years, you know, your veterinarian was related to your production on your farms, and we had a big agricultural background. What extension was always there is again complementary to what we did out on the farms. It's always nice to have extension to where we can go out and have more questions, and we can work as a team almost from a standpoint of I don't know how many times that I've got questions about weeds or have questions about soils or questions that Ag Extension's been there to help support us. We love the opportunity every chance we get to work with Ag Extension from the standpoint of being able to, again, provide what we do. And what we do is support ag businesses and farms. That's just what we do. It's part of our everyday routine as a large animal veterinarian. I think that's unique to veterinary medicine because it used to be commonplace. Now it's pretty much gone except for a few large animal guys who work with Ag Extension. So Ag Extension to me means partnership.
Hi there, this is Kevin Thomas, a farmer here in Jackson County. I raise beef cattle and hay, and my wife has eggs, and we're chickens, and we try to keep the whole family in eggs. And my farm's been here for 92 years now, and my family, and we really take a lot of pride in the things that's been raised here. My uncle used to raise tobacco and raise hay here also, and it's just been a big part of our family for a long time, and I'm glad to keep that going with my generation.
Can you tell us some of the things that Extension has been involved in over the years and how you've utilized that on your property?
Well, the Extension has really been big for me, especially, you know, with the TAP and trying to help me with that and getting certified of going to getting head catches, or if it's hay rings or oilers or, you know, some things I have, but just being able to go and ask questions. Hey, I've got this kind of grass that I'm trying to do, or, you know, what's my hay doing here, and going to ask the Extension for all kinds of different things to help me out, to give me some better knowledge of how to make my farm work more economically for me.
What are some of the challenges that you've had on your operation over the years?
Well, some of the biggest challenges, I think, is, of really me trying to raise my own cattle with raising my own heifers. And that's been a little bit of a challenge, you know, of going through that and doing it. And another thing is, I'm sure all farmers have it, it's just the hay producing of just the weather, you know, and the way the weather's really been changed in the last couple of years has really been a big challenge for me.
What do you really enjoy about being able to farm?
Well, what I really enjoy is just being around, I guess, the outdoors, but being around the cattle. And, you know, I just had a calf born here not 5 minutes ago, and so it just being around that part of it, and my wife and my kids enjoying it, going out and doing things together as a family, if it's working on a fence or, you know, or putting out hay or helping getting the cattle up. It's just a family-oriented business, and we really enjoy that side of it.
What do you wish that more people understood about agriculture, and what do you think the future of agriculture looks like based on what you've been involved in and are seeing today?
Well, I really wish that they understood the fact that, I mean, it is work, but it's such enjoyable work because you feel like you're working for yourself. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, farming, that's just hard work, but it is work. But I think if they got out there and seen that it's enjoyable work, you see what you're producing, you're seeing the change you're making.
So I'm Aaron Loy. We farm here at Loy Stock Farm in Newmarket, Tennessee, and we're located in the Rocky Valley community. Some history on the farm. My great-great-grandfather started farming here in the area in 1867, and I'd be the 5th generation here today. We'd best be described as a diversified livestock operation consisting of beef cattle and hogs, with our main focus being on cattle. UT Extension and University of Tennessee system has always played a big role here in our farm, really beginning for me back in my 4-H days, showing livestock and things of that nature and participating in different 4-H programs, and that really only further inspired me to pursue a career in agriculture at the production level here on the farm, and all the way through today really pursued a degree at the University of Tennessee in animal science, and then after taking on a full-time role only developed a further appreciation for the extension system, as we're able to rely on them for information that we need here at the production level to make our farm the best that it can be and continue to produce top quality livestock that will eventually go into the supply chain and be a quality product for the consumer.
Can we stay here?
So Chris, introduce yourself, tell us the name of the farm and where you're located.
Name is Chris Battle. This is Battlefield Farm, and we're located in Knoxville in Knox County.
What kind of things do you grow here? What do you grow mostly?
Well, primarily we grow beans, greens, tomatoes, okra, squash, zucchini. We grow the things that we grow here. We grow to sell at our the market that we started in 2018, the Eastside Sunday Market.
And how has TSU Extension helped you?
They have been extremely supportive of our work here. We have used the extension for teaching our interns during the summer internship. They've played an advisory role for me. A lot of times I've had a lot of questions about this and that, and they have been very receptive to us and responsive.
What is something unique and special about what you're doing?
I think what's unique about Battlefield Farm is not what we do, but why we do it. We are specifically here to fight food disparity in East Knoxville. There's no grocery store in a 2 or 3 mile radius of us. And with that lack of grocery store and access to fresh fruits and vegetables, we have the highest rate of hypertension, sugar diabetes in the community, in the city. And we're trying to alleviate that by giving people access to fresh fruits and vegetables.
How long have you been doing this?
We started actually in 2019. In 2018, I had started a little community garden at the farm, and it's when at the church. And when I learned about food disparity and food desert, it literally changed the trajectory of my life. And we ended up taking over Abbey Field in 2019. And that's literally when January 1, 2019 is when Battlefield Farm started. We rebranded Abbey Field to Battlefield as a play on my last name, Battle, but also because we're in this war against food disparity.
Thank you very much, Chris.
You're more than welcome.
What is your name, your farm name, and the county where the farm is located?
My name's Lewis Thomas. I'm a partner in L&K Livestock. We run a cow-calf operation in Lawrence and Giles County. I'm also a part of L&D Ranch, where we run some cow and calf operation there and breed kind of cow horse, quarter horses, and I guess that's about it.
So through the years, Lewis, what role has UT Extension played in helping you on your farm?
Oh wow! Well, we go back to the enhancement program has been huge for us through the years, and going back to soil sample days and you know, grass, you know, just coming out and looking at the grass and the weeds and the different things like that has been a big help.
So what is something unique or special about your farm, Lewis?
I don't know if there's anything unique. We try to practice rotational grazing. One of our farms is surrounded by the city now, and that brings a few things, but you know, we're just trying to kind of make a profit and enjoy life.
So I guess that kind of leads in another question you kind of referred to a little bit, so the challenges you're seeing now for being in the farming world.
Well, we all know that everything is so expensive, and cattle prices are higher than they've been probably in my lifetime. But it's, you know, unless it's harder to find land to rent, you really can't afford to buy land anymore. We're trying to hang on just to our little family farm that's we've had since the 30s.
but you know, it's just got to be something you love, because you know, there's, as we all know, there's always something to do, and a new problem arises every day.
Well, Lewis, I appreciate you doing this, and thank you so much for your time, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Calvin.
What is your name, your farm name, and the counties where your farm is located?
I'm Stuart Strand. We farm here in Lewis County. Our farm is Stonehill Farms.
Okay. What commodities do you grow or raise?
We mainly run a cow-calf operation. We got pigs on the side that we sell, and lamb. We do a little bit of lamb.
Okay. What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
They give me the information that I need. I'm trying to research things and connections with other local producers, valuable information like that.
Okay. Well, how long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
I've been farming on my own for about 3 years. Grew up around agriculture my whole life, and it's been a slow working process, but we're getting there.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
Well, we do practice regenerative agriculture, and that's something we're putting into play, trying to bring that into the agricultural role here as something unique.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, you know, the usual check on cattle, check on the fences, and then there is our farm contracts out to manage another property, so there is that, and upkeeping that other property too. So busy day every day.
Have you seen any changes in agriculture over the years?
Drastically, which would be the family farms disappearing rapidly, like almost overnight.
What challenges do you face in farming?
Well, that'd be the classic one. It costs a lot to farm, and there's not much return on it.
What do you like about farming?
Being outdoors, working with the animals, being out in nature all the time.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
The 24/7 struggle of a farmer to put food on the table 3 times a day, every day for people, and they don't quite realize that, how much work it is and dedication.
What does the future of agriculture look like?
Well, the future of agriculture, the way it's going, is kind of a disappointing one with family farm shrinking. But what I hope is that we get back to family farming, and small local farms can blossom again.
Yeah.
Bring it back to the local county.
Sounds good.
My name is Josh Ogle from Lincoln County, Tennessee. We farm mainly in Lincoln County, but we also farm a little in Franklin County, Tennessee, and then in Madison County, Alabama. We grow 3 main commodities here on our farm: cotton, corn, and soybeans. We do have a little bit of beef cattle, but it's mainly a row crop operation. So Extension has been very helpful to us over the years, working with the university and through the Extension with that to help planning with crops, try to see financial needs, and then keeping up with insect pressures as well as weed pressures, and then the cutting edge technologies as well, relying on the people that are in the field, that are on the test plots, that are really working to see what's coming down the pike next. And that's been always a big thing with being able to work with Extension, is trying to find out maybe what's new and what's fresh and how can we improve our operation. There have been a lot of changes over the years in Tennessee agriculture and in agriculture as a whole. The technology side is moving just faster and faster. We went from 25 years ago when D&J River Farm started, from no guidance, no GPS technology, to everything is fully integrated with GPS and very dependable upon GPS. And that really cuts down our seeding rates, and it cuts down our overspray, and everything is more pinpoint and precise. And then irrigation technology and other things that are out there to help us manage our crops. And then we also, with the sensors that are in the field, with moisture sensors and pest sensors that we can actually mount to the side of an irrigation system. That have been some of the big changes that we've seen over the years. So I really wish more people understood the entire concept of farming and what we do. There's a lot of negative a lot of times about farmers spraying too much or putting too much out, the chemicals that we use, when in all reality, we don't use those chemicals unless it's absolutely necessary. So I wish people understood the conservation side of what we do more. We're very conservative when it comes to the chemical use. We're very conservative when it comes to the land preparation and the erosion and other things that we see. We want this to be sustainable, and we want this to be carried forth to the next generation so that there's an abundant food supply here in America and Tennessee, of course, as we continue to go. Challenge is probably the biggest is always marketing and then making sure we're a profitable operation, because we have to make a profit from year to year to be able to continue to farm. That's challenging, especially the last year with a failure of basically all three crops. And then the challenge we've seen so far in 2025 is the wet weather in the month of May. Now we need the soil moisture, and it's going to be really good for us going throughout the month of June and July. We hope we continue getting some timely rains, but just the mud and the stuff we've dealt with all across the state has just been a challenge this year.
Hey guys, I'm Maggie Lindsay. I'm the intern at Loudoun County Extension this summer, and we have picked a pretty unique farmer here to interview today to talk to y'all at the state fair. So,
I'm Alan Burton here in Loudoun County, Loudoun, Tennessee. We do about 15 to 20,000 square bales a year, manual, old-fashioned with wagons and labor, horse quality.
how do you feel like Extension has helped you face challenges or even just pick up new information where you're at?
Well, my lack of experience, this is the third or fourth season that we've done it, and they have a lot of experience and knowledge behind them, so we've leaned on them a lot with John Goddard and David Bilderback and everyone that we've attended some classes, and so that works good. With issues like we've produced horse quality hay, so we've sent results that we knew was good hay. It came back, there was a protein issue, so they were able to retest it and kind of figure out what was wrong there, and so things like that are really helpful to lean on the experience.
So we're standing here in a smaller plot of what looks a little bit different than his normal bales up there, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about what he's been working on.
It's just alfalfa we planted to test. It's a half acre just to learn more about it. Not a lot of people grow it around here. It's a lot more challenging to grow and put up and get into a high quality bale, so we pretty much just did this to kind of diversify and see if it was something we could grow into.
I'm Alan's lead guy, and I'm very proud of it. We do a lot of cool stuff out here. Throwing hay, we put up a lot each summer, and we do some cattle work, and that was fun too, moving around from each pasture. It's impacted me in various ways. It's really helped me become a hard worker, and it's just really fun to do.
We're really glad that you had us out today. It's an awesome story that you've got, and we look forward to working with you and being out here some more. So.
Well, name is Darrell Law. I've been on this farm all my life, really. This was a family farm. We've had a few additions over the years, but not that much right in this location. We're just about 4 miles out of Lafayette. So, but anyway, my 2 sons and my wife and I, the name of the farm is 4L Farm.
What are some challenges you see in farming now, Darrell?
I think that it's going to be, you know, I see it. I think that the cost of production and the cost of operations with land price, and you know, land price. We got more and more people coming to Macon County, and they're breaking up farms, and so it's hard to hang on to a farm when you've got such a value to the land. Especially to use it in a cattle operation, a purebred business, and my dad was really interested in beef cattle business as well, and so we never really he worked at a public job, and so we didn't accumulate very many cows. Anyway, during those years, I really had a good time with the 4-H projects that we did, and lots of things happened through Macon County in the 60s and 70s period for me. Then, as my sons came up in the 80s and you know, 90s, and they did a lot of 4-H work as well and judging, and but all those years we had grown tobacco on a smaller scale, and you know, most people in our county here at that period of time, in the 60s and 70s, you know, you had what you could take care of, and did all the labor yourself, and then my boys used, you know, had to get a little bit larger as far as their production practices, and get-go trying to produce animals that would add value to what we could get, other than just going straight to the livestock market and selling there. And so that was one thing that I see. But I see that being a problem if people don't continue to improve, and we have in row crops and genetics on livestock for sure.
We appreciate you sharing a little bit of agriculture with the 4L Farm and in Macon County, Tennessee.
What is your name, your farm name, and the counties where your farm is located?
My name's Scott Woolfolk. We operate under Woolfolk Farms here in Madison County.
How long have you been farming, and how did y'all get started?
I'm 52 years old, been farming my whole life, I guess. So I figure up the years how you'll figure that. But the family's been here since 1865. Be the 7th generation here now.
Awesome, awesome. And what commodities do you grow or raise?
Our main commodities are beef cattle and Bermuda grass hay that we sell to the horse business. We basically have registered Hereford cattle, but we also have some cotton and corn.
What does a typical day look like for you?
If there is such thing as a typical day, which that happens very rarely around here, but we start out every morning checking cattle. We've got cattle at about 4 different locations, and I leave here every morning on a truck and a 4-wheeler, and we typically see every animal every day. I know some people don't see them that often, but we've got a lot going on with them. We do a lot of AI work and embryo work. We calve about 90 days in the fall, and again about 60 days in late spring. So that's the beginning of the day. After we check animals, we usually either go back to the shop in the springtime and get equipment ready to start getting ready for Bermuda grass season. If we're already in hay season, by 11 o'clock we're usually in the field, and by 12:30, 1 o'clock we usually try to be baling.
How does Extension play a role in helping your farm?
Over the years, we've done several trials out here with Extension Service. We've done some experimental work with our grasses. We did some with the orchard grass a few years ago. We've done several with the Bermuda grass. We've worked on yield. We've worked on fertilizer correlation with yields, and we've got in the talks and in the plans now this summer of doing some experimental work with our Bermuda to see how the different fertilizers affects the protein levels of the hay.
What do you like about farming?
I've been asked the question, what do I like about farming, many times in my career, and the main thing is if you don't like what you're doing, it'll be something different after a while. Every day is different, just like we was talking about. There is no typical day, but there's a lot of jobs that you have to do on the farm that you don't like, but just give it a little while. It's kind of like the weather around here. It will change often.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what is something that you wish more people understood about farming?
I wish that more people understood what our love for the land is and the animals that we take care of. You know, here close to Jackson, we started have deal with a lot of people moving in that many generations away from the farm and away from agriculture. And we've had some issues over the years where people think that we're not treating animals correctly necessarily. What they don't understand is that's not just what I live and breathe, that's my livelihood. So we do everything that we can, and a lot of times even go above and beyond what we can do to try to take care of them. And the land's the same way. Starting to get people complaining about the spraying and complaining about the washing and the erosion that's going on. And what I wish a lot of them would understand was a lot of our erosion problems now are their fault. More people that move in here, every time they pour some asphalt to build a parking lot, that's that many more gallons of water that comes out here. And our erosion problems are a whole lot worse than they were 15, 20 years ago.
What is your name, farm name, and the county where your farm is located?
My name is Alex Farah. This is Rattlestone Farms, and we are in Marion County, Tennessee.
What commodities do you grow and raise?
Currently, we raise beef that is sold direct to consumer and business to business, and we also raise sunflowers that are not really used in commercial production. They are used for hunting purposes, and we have 2 hunting outfits.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
Extension has played a major role in growing and adapting in the ways that we've wanted to over the past few years. I think anytime I have a question, concern, or even a crazy off-the-wall thought, I always feel comfortable calling my extension agent and bouncing ideas off of her.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
I grew up on a farm. The farm I grew up on is the 6th generation to be on that farm. We raised mules and quarter horses and some cattle and enough vegetables to feed probably 2 third world countries.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
I think there's a lot of things unique and special about the farm. One being the location on the plateau here. We average about 48 inches of topsoil, of soil altogether before we hit bedrock. So that presents a unique set of challenges. The other unique thing I think is our production style. We have really focused on taking the best aspects of regenerative grazing and ecologically conscious agricultural models. And we've also incorporated some more conventional practices into that model so that we can really try to capture the best of both worlds.
Have you seen any changes in agriculture over the years?
I've seen a lot of changes that I think have paralleled some of the things previous generations have seen. And I've seen changes that I think are going back to ways that our previous generation hasn't seen. We've seen loss of family farms on a large scale across the country. We've seen farms get bigger and bigger and bigger. But at the same time, we've also seen a resurgence in family farms.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
How hard it is, how slim the margins are, how much back-breaking effort actually goes into it, what it's like to really be out doing what needs to be done in the heat of the summer, and also on the frigid days when you have to break ice and unroll hay and everything else. I think people would have a better appreciation for where their food comes from and would be more selective about what products they purchase if they really knew what went into producing it.
All right, so just tell us who you are.
I'm Jason Gillespie. I'm Jonas Gillespie,
Okay.
and we're a Gilmac Dairy. It's a third generation dairy farm.
Okay. What do y'all grow here, or what do you do here?
We milk cows, not goats.
What kind of cows do y'all milk?
Registered Jerseys.
Okay. What else do you grow here besides milking the cows here?
We raise all our replacement heifers, raise some bulls.
Okay.
And grow some crops to feed the cows.
Okay. What role does Extension play in your operation here?
We have them come out and do some soil testing.
Okay.
Last year we ended up having them out to do some plant testing to see about nitrate poisoning because of the drought. Also use them, they're an important tool. We get our pesticide cards that we can use for spraying our crops through Extension. And also our BQA stuff. A lot of the ag enhancement stuff, our Extension is very resourceful in helping us achieve our goals of getting the stuff for ag enhancement.
Okay. What about 4-H? Do they?
Well, we always get asked to have some dairy judging practice out here, and we always oblige.
Okay.
And it's no big deal. We like seeing the kids out here and learning about the dairy cows.
How long have y'all been in operation here?
We've been in our partnership since 1997, but our dad moved here in 1981.
Okay.
And our family's been milking. The partnership actually started a long time ago, back in 1952, between our grandfather and A.E. McClanahan.
Okay. I don't know, any last closing thoughts about farming here in Marshall County?
Marshall County grows houses now instead of cows, so.
That's true. And there's a lot of rock, right?
It is. Yeah, down in Marshall County, you just got, in some places, the dirt's a little deeper. The rock's not on top of the ground.
All right. Well, fellas, thank y'all very much.
My name is Brent Worley. I farm in the Hampshire community of Murray and Lewis counties. I grow corn, soybeans, wheat, cereal rye, and raise stocker steers on our farm.
Brent, what role does Extension play in helping your farm be successful?
I think the main thing that Extension does for us is test current seed varieties and crop production products. You can compare multiple manufacturers and companies that manufacture those.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
I guess I've been farming my whole life, but I started full-time in 2012 when I graduated college, so 13 years.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
So I think the most unique thing about our farm is that we've been practicing no-till practices since 1975, so right at 50 years. No-till means that none of these fields have had a plow or disc or other tillage instrument pulled across them, except maybe to fix a terrace or fix a run.
What does a typical day look like for you?
There's no typical days on the farm, but during planting season, there's a lot of planting. During harvest season, there's a lot of harvesting, but the rest of the year, there's everything on earth that goes on in between.
What challenges do you face in farming?
So I think the financial aspect has gotten to be incredibly challenging. Everything's gotten so much more expensive in the past few years, and it just spreads what cash you have even more thinly than it already was.
What do you like about farming?
I say I enjoy getting to make my own schedule. I say no typical days. I can't stand doing the same thing all week. So there's always something different. Whether you want to or not, it's always something different.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
I wish more people understood that farming is a business like any other. Say everything, you have to make decisions based on dollars and cents, not just what feels good at the time.
Good morning, I'm Sam Kennedy, owner of Kettle Mills Farm. We farm right here on the Murray-Hickman County line, and we are a century farm, and we have the 8th generation.
Sam, how has Extension been helped you in your farm to be successful?
Oh goodness, Extension has been all along my farming journey, Extension has played a part. Most recently, for example, they came out and helped me take forage samples so we could create a mineral program for our cattle and sheep, and I'm always using them to keep up with market trends and get advice about what's going on in the market.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
Well, we raise cattle and sheep, but really we're grass farmers, and I'd say we do very, very intensive rotational grazing on a scale that's not commonly seen in Middle Tennessee.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Oh man, I guess that's part of what makes farming fun, is it could be anything, but on any given day I'm meeting with my shepherds. We're looking at what's going to go on with that day's move for the livestock and allocating their portion of grass for the day.
What challenges do you face in farming daily?
I mean, all the usual. Keeping good staff is always a challenge, and particularly here in Murray County, urban encroachment can be a challenge.
What do you like personally about being a farmer?
Man, for me, it's always been about the land, taking care of the land, stewarding the creation that's been given to us and making it better.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
The agriculture in general is so much. It is, of course, it's food and fiber, but it is so much more than that. You know, what we do on the land affects your quality of life, affects the culture around you. It's so much more than food, if that wasn't enough.
This is Tim Woods, UT Extension Agent here in McMinn County. I'm here today at Athens Regional Stockyard. And what is your name and your business?
I'm Dean Williams, and along with my son Dusty, we own Athens Regional Stockyard here in Athens, Tennessee, and DW Farms in Vonore, Tennessee.
And what commodities do you raise?
We background at our farm about 2,000 stocker calves at a time, and we've got 1,000 ewes diversified to the sheep.
And what's something that's unique or special about your farm and also about the stockyards?
Well, probably that we're most farms are just beef cattle or something like that, and in the last 3 or 4 years we diversified to the sheep. I think that's we're probably one of the largest sheep producers in East Tennessee, but just by accident. But I think that's kind of what makes us a little bit more unique than the others. And by doing some of this, you know, we've got the preconditioned sales, the graded sales, sheep sales, horse sales. My granddaughters have got horses, and Holstein steer sales. So, you know, we've diversified out to a lot of sales like that.
313, 313. How long have you been in the stockyard business?
Okay, I've been here at Athens Regional Stockyard for 20 years as a livestock owner, market owner. Probably food with cattle 45, 50 plus years.
And what role does Extension play here in the county and with Athens Regional Stockyard?
Well, I feel like we're one of the most progressive stockyards in the state. And the reason for this is we've had Beef College, the Beef Summit, our county agent, we've had all these educational things for our farmers, our producers here, and they're progressive. I mean, any ideal that Tim would come to me with and we'd go to the farmers, they'd do it. And that's why we've got the largest graded preconditioned sale in the state. We partner in the Beef Summit down here at the Regional Park every year. And I feel like that we've got one of the best farm city days that they come here to Stockyard. We don't have to worry about rain or shine or whatever with the 4-H and the young farmers and ranchers. And we'll have 2,000 or 3,000 or more kids on that deal. So, I mean, Extension plays a big part here at Athens Regional Stockyard. It's very important.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brad Hunt from McNairy County. I am a former 4-H member, former FFA member, graduate of UT Martin. I row crop about 1,500 acres in Hardin and McNairy County, and run about 100 head of mama cows, and we ship out about 500 head of feeder cattle. I'm very supportive of the UT Extension Service due to the fact on the row crop. They work extensively in helping us figure out what works in our area, whether it deals with herbicides, insecticides, varieties. Our soils are a little different in West Tennessee than other places, and we need to have a specific idea and research to back those decisions we make on the production side. On the livestock side, they are very influential in helping us in determining the different performances we need in our cattle. They are very influential in helping us in determining what is a need and a want and the purchases we need for the production of those livestock. They are very helpful in us in things that we need to do in the production side in making decisions of what works and what does not. I am also very supportive of the concept of youth organizations in agriculture. Each day that goes by, our generations are further removed from the production farm. If we do not keep organizations like 4-H and FFA alive and strong, will be losing any security we have for our food safety going forward in the future. I do appreciate UT. I appreciate UT being here in my county of McNairy, Tennessee. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Garrett McDaniel with UT Extension here in Obion County. I'm sitting here with Obion County farmer. We're going to do a little interview for you for the Tennessee State Fair. So without further ado, go ahead, Rad, tell us your name, the counties that you farm in, and where exactly your farm's located.
So basically, my name's Radford McDavid. I farm here in Obion, just outside of Obion in Obion County. We stretch, me and my wife, we live here on the farm. We stretch from Troy all the way to the edge of Dyer County, below Obion, about 9 miles.
Okay, awesome. So how long have you and your family been farming? Maybe how many generations? How'd y'all get started? What's kind of the backstory on your farm?
So my family has bought some ground back starting in the 1930s. Okay. We live right next door to one of the first farms they bought. And so I'm the third generation farmer in that aspect. They owned a hardware store in Trimble, was right across the river. And when my dad got out of college, he said, "Hey, I want to farm." And my granddad was already farming a little on the side too. So he got out of the hardware store, and they both went full time into it. And then I've wanted to do nothing but farming since the day I was born, I guess. So that's kind of where we started and where we're at now.
Okay, all right. So that sounds like a lot of other farmers that we work with every day. So what commodities do you grow and raise here on your farm?
So typically we are a corn and soybean rotation. Every now and then we do have a little winter wheat that we grow depending on how the markets are and everything like that. But for the most part, we try to keep about a 50-50 rotation, corn and soybeans.
Okay, awesome. So tell me, what does a typical day look like for you on the farm? And there may not be a typical day. Let's say we're sitting here in the middle of summer. What's a typical summer day look like for you on the farm?
So right now, man, we've just been plagued with a lot of water this year.
Yeah,
I mean, we're already to the point we're past our normal annual rainfall.
Yep.
So we're having to do a whole lot more weed management. Just a lot of escapes. Our pre-emergents have run out. Yep. So we're really having to do a lot of go back and spot spraying, just trying to clean up the fields. So typical day for me right now, wake up, always a cup of coffee. Gotta have that cup of coffee in the morning.
No matter if it's 100 degrees.
That's right. And then so we're gonna go around. We're gonna scout. I try to scout some every day.
Okay.
Because you never know what every day holds. Disease it waits for nobody.
Nope.
And so you want to get out there. You want to make sure you're on top of everything. And then once we kind of get the scouting out of the way while it's cool, we're going to go in and we're going to, if we need to spray a farm or if we don't have anything we kind of need to do in that aspect, we're going to be trying to clean up around the edges of the farm, work on equipment, getting ready for harvest that's coming up here.
Be here before you know it.
That's right, month and a half. We'll be in the field. So that's. There's always something to do, and it always seems like whatever plan you make in the morning, by the end of the day, you're not on that plan anymore.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Well, awesome. Well, last question here. What do you think the future of agriculture looks like, particularly here, let's just call it in Northwest Tennessee?
I have this conversation a lot with guys, and of course, so I'm 30.
Yep.
And there's so many people just in our area that are above that 65 line. And I can't help but think farming has, with the modern advances, it's become a little bit less labor intensive. Now, I'm not saying the time is still there, but it's a lot easier to ride a tractor that has air conditioning than when you're driving an open station.
Yeah, 40-20 open station with no air conditioning or
something. That's right. So, some of these guys, you can farm a little bit longer, and if you're a farmer, it's in your blood. It's hard to get out of. So, these guys are going to hang on probably as long as they can or they want to, but there's going to be a whole lot of transition of farms getting out. And just like over the United States, there's not near as many young farmers coming on to take control of that. So, the future of farming here, farmer operations are going to get bigger.
Yep.
We're going to try to be good stewards of the land. I mean, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people that outside of the farming community don't understand what it's like to be a farmer, and we're never going to do anything that we wouldn't want to consume. We're not, and so my plan: grow the farming operation. Be a part of the community. That's a big thing. We're very community based, and just try to incorporate the new technologies that's coming on. There's farming is advancing so much,
and you're going to see all of that.
Yeah. Everything from chemistry advancements, new technologies in soybean and corn traits to drones.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge thing. I'm excited to see what it all has to entail, and hopefully a lot of good outcomes come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rad, thank you for your time. Appreciate everybody that stops by the booth and checks out these videos and sees these local farmers in Tennessee. So y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Hi, this is Alyssa and Chuck Anderson, and we are here from Overton County, Tennessee, Anderson Sells Farms.
Agricultural commodities does this farm produce?
We are primarily Angus cattle. We also produce hay. We're a cow and calf operation where we breed and raise our own seed stock for replacement bulls and heifers. We also sell packaged beef.
What role does UT TSU Extension play in helping you on your farm?
UTTSU Extension has offered us the opportunity to attend artificial insemination school, where we were able to bring that to our farm and rapidly increase our cattle genetics in a short-term basis. We also have had the opportunity to share with our community some of the things that we have learned through extension research. And I also have become a 4-H agent.
Chuck and Alyssa, how long have you been farming and how did you get started?
Well, we're 8th generation on the property. We're a Century Farm. I don't know, what is it, 10 years? Guess we've been hard at it for 10 years.
What is something unique and special about this farm to you?
Jason, I think it'd be back to the Century Farm. We're almost to 200 years, right, in our lineage, so we are the 8th generation.
What do you like about being a farmer? What is the one thing that just stands out that makes you want to do it?
I think ultimately it's the animals, right? It's seeing that growth, it's seeing things change, it's having, young babies born that you have played a huge part in that process. It's watching this cattle herd change over time and improve. It's really just about that opportunity to make a good beef for our consumers, because ultimately they are that end product to what we do every single day.
What do you wish more people understood about farming?
So, farming can be the most rewarding thing you can do in life. It can also be the most defeating, just in a short amount of time. It's everything from grass to like we were talking about, the artificial breeding. You spend all your time synchronizing these cows, and then 9 months later there's no calf, or you've got something that's really awesome. So you can go from the greatest to the most defeating all at the same time.
My name's Tim Bird. We farm in Perry County with my brother Greg. We farm about 1,800 acres of crop, corn and soybeans, do a few cows and some hay. We grow a lot of non-GMO crop that we sell to the Amish, some for feed. Obviously some challenges in agriculture is the weather, a lot of things we can't control. Changes I've seen in agriculture, I've seen basically technology is a lot of it. Just auto steer, all kinds of things like that are very helpful. Extension plays a good role in our farm. We do test plots with them, yield plots, and as far as crop scouting and stuff, they can look and tell what we need to be doing to our crop to help it. I really love farming because you get to be outside and enjoy what you're doing. The general public, I wish, like when they understood farming, a lot of them just think we're out here harming, we're spraying, we're harming, we got cows in confinement. We're not doing that. We make a living from the land. We don't have intention of doing anything that will hurt it. That's just a few things that I would like to see changed, and it's about understanding of agriculture.
My name is Doug Elder, and this is my farm. It's named Triple J Farm. We did this 43 years ago. We got 3 children, a daughter and twin sons, and each of their names start with a J, so that's how that come up with. We farm corn, soybeans, used to grow wheat, but it's mainly corn and soybeans now. And we run about 98 acres this year. Half of it is in Pickett County. The other half is across the line down Overton County on some of my son's farm down there. Been dealing a lot of years with UT Extension. They've always been very helpful. They keep us straight on our pesticide certification and updated, and they have various meetings throughout the years that are very beneficial to us. sprayer calibration, new chemicals that are coming on the market, but always just a phone call away. Farming has changed drastically in the last, not just the last 43 years, but when we started it was plowing and disking, and for the last 24 been no-tilling everything. In the new varieties, the new herbicides, pesticides, is remarkable what they are today. Our biggest challenges are the weather, probably number one, and then the price when we begin to market our crops. But I've been doing it long, I love it, and I'll do it as long as the good Lord will let me crawl up into a combine and harvest.
Started here. So our first question is, what is your name, your farm name, and the counties that you farm in?
My name is Johnny Dunn. I farm in Polk County, Tennessee, and the name of the farm is the Dunn Farm.
What commodities do you grow and raise?
Hay, and then cow-calf producer.
Okay. And then what role does Extension play in helping your farm?
Well, advises me as a farmer and helps me like with the TAE program, Ag Enhancement Program, and all the other certifications that I need to use on the farm.
Okay. How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
Well, the Dunn Farm is over 100 years old, and I've been a farming for basically with 68 years. Started out farming with my father.
Okay. The next question is, what is something unique or special about your farm?
Well, to be unique about my farm is we're in the mountains of Polk County, beautiful setting to farm. That's about it.
You farm on a creek.
The creek runs through the property here, so I have access to water, so it helps me, that way with my cattle.
Right. What does a typical day look like for you on the farm?
A typical day is according on the weather, of course, but is to check my cattle of a morning to make sure they're all okay, any new calves on the ground, or any cattle that needs any special attention for that day.
Have you seen any changes in agriculture over the years?
Yes, I have, and a lot of it is to the good. I mean, is to these programs that helps the farmers, like during droughts, and also the programs that helps the farmer to be able to achieve and go forward.
Can you name some challenges that you face in farming?
To me, the biggest challenge is for me in farming is like this year has been the weather. It'd be too wet, and like this year was extremely wet about cutting the hay, and then some of the droughts that we've been having here lately, it's been a challenge.
And what do you like about farming?
Well, it's kind of really all I've ever known. Is a lot of people say, well, what's your hobbies? Well, I guess my hobby is farming, but that's one thing that I really enjoy doing is farming.
And our next question is, what would you wish more people would understand about farming?
Is that's really, that needs to be cut off.
Okay. Question was, what do you wish more people would understand about farming?
Well, the challenges that we are confronted each year, basically, and each day, and people need to realize that the farmers is what's producing the food for them to have something to eat.
And what do you think the future of agriculture will look like?
I think it's a strong outlook. I know there've been a lot of farms and dairies in our area and in our county that's no longer there anymore, but it's a big challenge for them, but just hope that it continues to thrive in our county especially.
Good morning. My name is Ross Nash. I live in Putnam County. We run a diversified operation, I guess you would say. We have about 200 acres of corn, 200 acres of soybeans, about 250 to 260 mama cow beef operation, and we take them up to like 850 pounds, wean them and sell them at the preconditioned sales.
Okay.
And it seems to work out good for us.
How long, Ross, have you been farming here at this location in Putnam County?
My dad started this farm in '74, and I've been here ever since. Me and my brother have taken on with it. So.
Family farm, I like that.
Yeah.
I know that every day is a little bit different, Ross, and farming is a very busy enterprise, of course, and different things. Can you tell me basically a typical, maybe what a day looks like for you? What kind of things go on a regular basis on the farm?
You get up pretty early. You go check your cows, check and see how if you got any new calves, and basically check all of the livestock first, and then we'll go to the row crop part of it. During the heat of the day, just like 3 days ago, we were in the wheat field, combining wheat, and today we're back in the field again trying to get the late beans out, the wheat beans they call them.
Gotcha.
After the wheat.
Of course, agriculture, as you and I both know, has changed a lot over the last several decades.
Yes, sir.
What's a big challenge that you face in farming? Do you see it sometimes an obstacle, sometimes things that make it tougher to farm?
Well, it's the prices of equipment that has sort of held people back a lot. I mean, back in the early 80s, 85 horse tractor, you're looking at $7,500. Today, about $150,000 for the same tractor. I mean, it'll be different, got more electronics, more GPS and everything that's common nowadays. So.
Exactly. What do you think, last question, what do you think the future of ag looks like? What do you think in 10, 20 years from now? What's going to be different, you think? You think more technology? You think?
I think it'll be more technology and larger farms in order to be able to afford the $500,000 combine or $250,000 worth of heads to go on that combine. So they got to get larger in order to be able to afford it.
I'm Jennings Robertson. People know me as Jay, but Jay, you can call me Jay. I'm from Ray County, and that's where our farm's located. It's called Hudson Cattle Company. We raise Angus cattle. We also raise hay. This farm was originally my father-in-law's, Leroy Hudson, and when he died, he left it to his two daughters. We made him a promise that we would keep it running as a farm because he had worked his whole life for this farm. This farm goes back to the turn of the 20th century when Leroy's grandfather traded a farm in Colorado for this farm, sight unseen. That's rarely heard of today. My day, when we took over 6 years ago, we set out parameters of what each one of us would do. Vicki and my wife, Rebecca, are the main shareholders in our LLC. My son and his wife, Holly, run the actual today farm. The changes in agriculture, to me, number one is technology and science. The agricultural schools have really helped. The role the agricultural schools in the Extension Office and USDA, they all play a major role. It takes all of us working together to ensure that we'll have enough food supply for the next generation. the thing I would like to get over to people, farmers do it because, number one, it's in their blood. We're here, the farmers are here, and we take care of the land. And that's the number one thing I'd like to get over to the people, that when we took over this operation, we made kind of a promise among ourselves that we would do it environmentally. We cross-fenced our fields, we rotate our cattle, the carbon is going back into the ground, and in return, it's capturing the grass that it grows is capturing more carbon. And I think that's an important thing, because this old earth is the only planet we got. Come on!
My name's Annette Barnett, and my husband's name is Rick Barnett. He couldn't be with us today, he's working. Our farm is located on River Road in Kingston, and on our farm we sell farm fresh eggs. We grow large vegetable gardens. We sell blueberries, square-belled hay, and we raise dairy goats. And so I'd love to talk to you about dairy goats today. If you'll come along with me, we'll go find some goats. Come on, let's go. Here are some of my goats. We have Nubian goats. They're the ones with the long ears, by the way. We have some Nigerian dwarf, and we have Saanen goats. And these are all dairy goats. On our farm, we raise dairy goats for their milk. Dairy goats have very good milk, and it's easier to digest than cow's milk. We love to drink the milk, and we make goat milk soaps and lotions and creams with their milk, all kinds of skincare products, because it's very moisturizing, has a lot of good vitamins and nutrients in their milk. Goats love treats too, by the way. Let's see, this is Jack. Jack's is their guardian. He protects the goats from the coyotes and other, maybe some stray dogs. And when you have goats, it's very important that you have a guardian with them, because we have a lot of coyotes around here and other dogs. I find it interesting that goats have rectangular pupils. And so with that being said, they can see what's all around them, whereas as humans, we can only see directly in front of us. They can see all around them except for directly behind them. So, and that really helps with wild animals and coyotes, and it helps to protect them, because goats are very curious animals. They love to climb on things, and they can jump really high. They're very playful. That's what makes them very good pets. Goats are browsers. They love to eat poison, ivy, weeds, briars, vines. That's the kind of diet they love. They also love sweet feed, grains, and hay, which is what we feed them, especially during the winter time. And we also use the rotational grazing. We turn them out in the pasture, and which you'll get to see them in a few minutes when we turn them out. They love that. And goats can live to be 15 to 18 years of age. Here is some of our pasture that we use for our goats. We actually have 2 paddocks right now, actually 3 that we're using. We usually move them once they clean up one paddock. We'll take them to another paddock and let them take care of that. Because if you open it up and put them all out there in the pasture, they're just going to just nibble here and there. It's kind of like a buffet. They're just going to nibble, get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But we put them out in one small paddock and let them clean that up before we move them. And they love to come out. You'll see them in a minute when we turn them out. They love to come out, and when they go out to the pasture, they bow their heads and they don't come up for a while. Come on, baby! Come on, babies! Let's go play! What was that? Come on, babies! Come on, babies! Ready to go play? Come on, babies! And there they go. Come on, Jax. Really?
Thank you for coming by to our home, sweet home, Annabelle Acres. We hope to see you real soon.
Tell us your name and the county you farm in and where it's located.
My name's Elvis Beller Jr. I farm in Robertson County, more specifically Adams, Tennessee. I also have a small portion of farming going on in Montgomery County as well.
All right. What crops do you grow, Elvis?
I grow corn, wheat, soybeans, dark fire tobacco, dark air tobacco, and we also have commercial cattle as well. We also have a beef business called Bell Hollow Beef, which is located here in Adams, Tennessee.
When did you start that?
Started Bell Hollow Beef somewhere around 4 years ago. It started off first just selling halves, quarters, and wholes to different customers, and we finally got in the piecemeal business about 2 years ago, 2 to 2.5 years ago.
And you got catering going now with your beef?
Don't have catering exactly, but we have implemented a food trailer, which we just kicked off, and we cook at different events. We're going to be at the Thresman Show this coming year, July 2025 here in Adams, and cooking for it. And we also cook on Mondays during the week and during the summer months here in Adams.
So tell us the role UT Extension has played in helping with your farm.
The role UT Extension has played hay testing, chemical application, chemical education, helping us keep our points and our chemical license current, information regarding weed control, pest control, and tobacco as well. So it's a very integral part of agriculture here in Robertson County.
Now, did you and your family members do the Master Farm Manager course?
Yes, we did.
What did you think of that?
I picked up a lot of good information from it, especially vaccines for cattle, when to vaccinate, the importance of pest control, fly control, that kind of thing.
All right, we'll close out here with the last question. How long have you been farming and how did you get started?
Been farming for 20 years full-time. I've been farming an additional 10 years part-time. After graduating from the University of Kentucky, I went into chemical sales for 3 years and then was in agronomy with a local co-op, Montgomery Farmers, for 12 years. And I started farming part-time with them, and then in 2005, got the opportunity to come home full-time farm.
Donald Jernigan from Christiana, Tennessee, Rutherford County. I've been farming in this area since 1969. Our farm name is just Jernigan Farms. We're a beef cattle operation.
So what additional commodities do you grow or raise in addition to cattle?
We do graze, we do grow hay, and we have a small corn crop for silage. We only put in 12, 15 acres for silage, which is enough for our operation.
What role does extension play in helping you in your operation?
Well, extension has been a very valuable tool. I've often said that Tennessee Farmers Co-op, Farm Bureau, the Extension Service, TSU Extension has been a vital part of my operation, and certainly appreciative of that fact. I've been using Extension the entire time, but from 1992 until this present time, it's been extremely important. Forage testing, soil sampling, advice on nutrition, just lots of valuable information can be obtained through the Extension Service.
What does a typical day on the farm look like for you, Mr. Jernigan?
Well, a typical day on the Jernigan farm is rise and shine and check cattle. That's the cattle are the ones that pay the bills, so they're number one priority. And then we make our rounds. Then after that, see that they're taken care of, and from that point, you have a checklist of things you try to get done that day. But it's like so many checklists, you have the same checklist for several days.
My name is Tim Chitwood. I'm the owner and operator of Chitwood Mountain Farms in Winfield, which is in Scott County.
All right, and so what do you grow or raise on your farm?
We got a cow-calf operation, and we do a lot of hay.
Okay. And what role does Extension play in helping you and your farm?
Well, they're real good about sharing information and having the classes for, TAEP, stuff like that.
Okay, good. How long have you been farming, and how'd you get started?
Well, I've been farming since I guess I was 6 years old, running around behind my grandfather. Our farm, it's a century farm. It's actually it was established in 1817, so wow. A little over 200 years.
Wow.
I think I just answered your
You did. You answered what's unique about your farm, and that is it. So what does a typical day look like for you?
Feeding, fencing, bush hogging, cutting hay, baling hay, getting hay in, daylight to dark usually.
Good. Long days. Have you seen changes in agriculture over the years?
Yeah, the increased cost of everything. It just, and so many farms are being sold out. That really, it just kills me because, it's getting less and less, and the costs and everything, it's harder to do, and the taxes and everything.
So that's kind of the challenges too. Yeah,
it's a challenge.
Yep. So let's move on to something more pleasant. So tell me what you like about farming.
Well, it gets in your blood. I mean, Grandpa put it there 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, I love all aspects of it, but I love watching the little calves grow the most.
Yeah.
I love watching the babies grow up into, mature cows and stuff.
Good. What do you wish more people understood about farming?
About how much work goes into it. People don't understand where stuff comes from. A friend of mine, she's a FFA teacher, and she told me she had kids in her class that comes in freshman year and think milk is made at Walmart. I mean, people just don't understand where it all comes from and how much goes into it.
Yeah. So what do you think the future of agriculture looks like?
Well, you know, if land keeps getting sold for rural development and stuff, it's going to be tough. I mean, 1% of the farmers feed 99% of the nation. So when our land's gone, where's it going to go? I mean, I don't know.
So what is your name and farm name, and what counties do you farm in?
My name's James McBride.
My name's Jenny Cook.
We are out of Sequatchie County, and our farm is Creative Cattle LLC.
Okay, so what commodities do you grow? Obviously cattle because of the name, but what other commodities?
We do the cattle, we do honeybees, we also have meat chickens, egg layers, and goats.
And what role does Extension play in helping your farm?
The Extension has played an extensive role in us getting started, especially as new farmers. Our first experience with the Ag Extension was the farm manager program, education program that we went through. We've used Farm Extension for the bee program that you all offered, as well as what other programs?
The ruminant program, the master beef program. We've also used it as actually to get the farm up and running, because when we went to the extension, they gave us a lot of information on how to get a farm started and how to build the infrastructure for our farm, being that we were new farmers on old land.
Yes, and they actually helped us design our working facility as well.
So you just mentioned getting started. How long have you been farming, and why did you get started?
Well, while our farmland has been here for over 100 years and a family farm, it has not been farmed in about 30, 40 years or so. And we wanted to start farming again. So we started our infrastructure about 5 years ago, and we got our first cattle about 3 years ago.
And our last question, something unique or special about this farm?
What's unique and special about it is it's been handed down for generation after generation. Right now, we have 7 generations, or the 7th generation that actually lives on the farm. And we have the 8th generation that is growing up and will soon be out here on the farm.
Yeah, and they're learning as children hands-on how to do farming from us new farmers on old land, as you said. And I get to work with my brother and my other brother and my uncle, so that's pretty fun.
All right, thank you. And
okay, I am Eric Trent McVeigh. My farm is in Shelby County, out in the Shelby Forest area. I have a cow-calf operation. I also raise produce, and I have an acre of fruit trees.
What does Extension play a role in helping your farm?
Extension has been a very important part of me as a farmer. I often take advantage of opportunities to get certifications through the extension. Of course, they have been instrumental in programs such as the Master Beef Producing Program, which also allows me to participate in the Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program, which allows some cost share for livestock equipment. Extension has been very important.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
Actually, I've been farming most of my life. I started as a kid in 4-H club. I actually showed hogs at the Mid-South Fair, and due to 4-H club, I got involved as a child in farming. So I've been farming at least 60 years.
And what does a typical day look like for you?
Busy. There's always something to do on the farm. You never get finished, but generally it starts early in the morning, 5:36, and often goes until it's dark.
So George, just go ahead and tell us your name, your farm name, and the counties that your farm's located.
Hello, I'm George McDonald. I'm a 4th generation farmer here at Catisa Farms. We currently farm in 6 different counties here in the Middle Tennessee area, growing corn, soybeans, wheat, milo, strawberries, and watermelons.
All right, George, what kind of, well, you kind of answered that question right there. What role does the extension play in helping your farm?
Extension has been a vital part of our farming operation and of my life since my early days, since being involved in 4-H. Today, we're a huge supporter of Extension and the services of which it offers. We utilize many things there throughout the state, and we like to be a partner with Extension because I believe it's a two-way street, that both Extension and farmers can learn together and create new opportunities for agriculture in the state.
All right, George, and what does a typical day look like for you?
I don't know there's such thing as a typical day for me, but normally our day, myself and Kyle Cato, our day usually starts somewhere around 5:30 each morning. We're in the office getting a few things going and ready for our operation, for our team to get started. We have a team meeting early that morning, around 6:30 every morning. From there, we disperse and go out in different directions. Because we have 10 full-time employees, seasonal workers, we'll have about 20 to 25 seasonal workers that will be here in our operation, especially during the produce season. And we are about to begin in our watermelon season, which requires lots of labor. So during that same time, it seems like that we are shuffling people, handling ideals here on the farm, and creating new opportunities, not for just ourselves, but for our entire team to better themselves and to better the farming operation.
And a final question, George, what is something unique or special about your farm that you are proud of?
I think one of the things that distinguishes us from other farming operations is our people. Our people are our key things that we have here. You can have all kinds of equipment, all kinds of technology, but if you do not have the right team of people to do it, it's very difficult. And I feel like here at Catisa Farms, we have created an environment that is very difficult to replicate. In the fact of the team that we have here in our operation, everyone takes ownership in what they're doing, takes pride in it. And I always tell people, our Catisa Farms is a family heritage, it's a family tradition, but most importantly, Catisa Farms is a family business.
What is your name, your farm name, and the county where your farm is located?
I'm Brad Kirkham. I'm with Kirkham Family Farm, and I'm in Sumner County.
What commodities do you grow or raise?
Currently, we raise beef cattle, hay, and mums with a little bit of lavender on the side as well.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
Extension has helped a lot, especially in the process of the ag enhancement money. Being able to provide the classes has led us to be able to be a little bit more efficient and productive here in the operation, being able to do the cost share stuff through the state.
How long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
I started when I was probably about 10 or 12 years old. We started with a tobacco base, and from there I raised some sweet corn, strawberries, and of course hay and cattle. And I guess I've been doing that now for close to 30 years.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
This farm's been in our family since the 30s, but we have farmed in this area probably for close to 200 years. And probably one of the most unique things, I guess, about this is that my great-grandfather was the original owner, and we was able to get that from him throughout the years, and purchased this place on the courthouse steps in Gallatin, and I believe it was about 80 or 90 acres when it was purchased for $500 in 1938. Going by today's standards, I think that that's one of those rare things I think is kind of neat to see and hear.
What does a typical day look like for you?
It depends on the day, depends on what happens. I do work public work. I'm an ag teacher at the local high school. But if we're here, a typical day generally is going to be getting up, feeding, taking care of the livestock, going out and working with any of the equipment that needs to be taken care of. And a lot of times we do a lot of our own maintenance work as well. So it may be working on tractors and equipment or trucks that are here around the farm.
All right, can you guys tell me your name and the farm name?
Yeah, my name is Scott Johnson. I'm the owner-operator of Johnson Farms with my son, Case, and my wife, Sarah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the farm.
My name is Case Johnson. I'm a fifth-generation farmer. Grew up here, like born here and raised here. Was in the combine and tractor with my great-grandfather since I was little. Enjoyed the farm life and everything about it. Yeah.
What all do you guys produce?
We've produced mainly soybeans, corn, and recently have gotten into hog production.
Okay. So tell me some different things that you have worked with Extension on in the past.
We've worked with them we hosted sentinel flights for the disease and insect pressure, and they're good about letting us know and what's in the area, if there's any diseases or insect pressure around. I've done probably 20 years or so of the county yield trials, which has helped us see what will work best on our farm and in this area as far as all the different varieties that are offered. And
Well, good. So we really appreciate your support and appreciate you taking your time to do this for the Tennessee Fair. Thank you.
What's your name, your farm name, and where is your farm located?
My name is Dale Dice, and I usually go by the name of Dice Cattle Farms. Our farms are located in Trouser County, but we're real close to the Wilson County line and the Smith County line. But all my farms are still in Trouser County.
What commodities you grow or raise here on the farm?
We're strictly a cow-calf operation. Of course, we're big into hay and to baleage. My cow operation is primarily Simmental based. I do try to do a little AI where I've got some purebred cows, purebred Red Angus, purebred Angus, that I will AI with, usually I use Gelbvieh semen. I'm trying to get that balancer female where I come back on them with a Simmental bull to give me a 3-breed rotation.
And what role does Extension play in helping you here on the farm?
Well, UT Extension has been a vital part of my farming program because there's some things that they have introduced to me that I probably wouldn't have done it if it hadn't been for Extension. Jason got me started into rotational grazing several years ago. I'm real high on rotational grazing. I don't do it to the extent that a lot of people do, but I do try to have at least 3 different pastures that I can rotate my cows to. Baleage is another thing that I've relied on Jason quite heavily that I've gotten into. It's something I wished I'd known about 10 years ago. So I've gotten into that, and then just recently we've gotten a little bit into genomics. I utilize Zoetis program and doing some testing on some of my calves to try to help me, pick a better replacement heifer. So those are 3 items where UT Extension has really been important in my farm program.
The name of our farm is Cox Farms. We farm about 500 to 700 acres in Union County. We grow mostly hay nowadays. We have grown wheat and sweet corn in the past. We put up about 5,000 to 6,000 square bales a year. I sell to horse customers and goat, small farmers, hobby farmers, and we roll anywhere from 600 to 750 round rolls a year, consisting of 4x4s and 5x6 rolls. A typical day, I of course work a full-time job. I work for the railroad, so if I'm either working on the farm during the day or working at night or vice versa, most time it's check on the cows, or in the summertime it's hay and gardening work and just different things like that, mending fences and repairing equipment. And this year some of the challenges is the weather. It's been a wet summer in Union County, so it's been hard to get our hay up in a timely manner. So we've dealt with that all summer. So that's been a difficult challenge this year, and time is a lot of the issue. It's having enough time to get everything. Extension's helped provide classes for pasture land management, master beef program, other genetic classes, herd health. It's been real knowledgeable, and wish more people understood the cost of farming, and everything is, the beef market's doing good now, but a lot of times it's not been. It's drove the price of equipment up, price of feed up, price of fuel up. Everything's just keeps going up. Yeah, the cattle market's doing good, but everything else is high, even when the cattle market wasn't sweat. But the farms are disappearing around here left and right, and I worry that there's not going to be no farmland in this part of the East Tennessee in a few years. So I'm hoping that I can instill enough in them that they want to keep farming and keep the land, farmland, and not sell it off one day. And that way we'll still have some good old American-grown produce and beef cattle raised in Tennessee and other parts of the country.
I'm Chris Binkley, and I'm the UT Extension Agent in Van Buren County. And then for the State Fair, we are to interview a farmer. I am here with Mr. Steve Russell, and I'm going to let Steve tell you about his farm name and where the farm is located.
Farm name is Steve Russell Farms. We're in the western side of Van Buren County, not far from Warren County line.
And it's a little old community called Rocky River, which is a kind of a neat little place here in Van Buren County. Steve, can you tell the bunch what commodities, what crops, what livestock you raise on this farm?
We're cow-calf operation mainly. We do hay, wheat, oats, beans, corn. We're trying to diversify a little bit.
I know that I kind of twisted your arm to get you to do this interview. Can you kind of let us know how Extension kind of helps you on this farm?
Well, the programs that come through the Cattlemen's Association, you get a lot of the new information, then soil samples. There's just a whole lot of other different ways. If you need information, that's where you need to go.
So, Steve, tell us kind of how you got started in farming and how long the farm's been in operation and some of the things like that, the history of the farm.
Well, where we're at right here, this part of the farm was established in 1829. The name's changed because some of them, like me, had nothing but daughters, but it's never been out of the family since. I started farming when I got out of high school in '81, raised here, always enjoyed it, plan on staying here.
Well, Steve, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time this morning and sharing a little information about the farm here in Van Buren County.
welcome to beautiful, historic Warren County, McMinnville, Tennessee. We're here today with Mr. Cole Taylor and his son Layton. Thought we'd interview a farmer of a different sort to discover kind of old traditional type of farming that McMinnville used to be really big in, and that's the logging industry. So Mr. Taylor, tell us a little bit about the logging history and all that here in Warren County.
The old-timey logging's kind of a dying breed anymore. That's what I was raised up in. We more focus on select cutting and stuff like that. A lot of it's went into, pulpwood, paperwood, stuff like that, clear cutting, stuff like that. A lot of people turn to that, and we try to focus more on just select cutting, and that way, if you cut it the right way, about every 15, 20 years, you can go back in and harvest it again. It's something that a lot of older people look into doing. That way some of their family later on down the line can kind of get to harvest it some too. We've been doing it a long time. I'm actually the 7th generation of my family cutting timber, and hopefully if Layton decides he wants to do it, he'll be the 8th. And trying to train him at a young age, it's not easy work. We focus, and we still cut everything with a chainsaw, so like I said, we're old school. We try to cut everything still with a chainsaw, and we don't have any cutters. Now we got a skidder, and we got knuckle booms, we got tractor trailers, stuff like that, and I was very fortunate. I got to work in the woods every day with my grandpa and my dad. Not everybody's fortunate enough to be able to say they done that, and I got to learn from some of the best. And I said earlier that it was kind of a dying breed. A lot of the old-time loggers in Warren County have died out on us. A lot of the guys, and there ain't very many young people that are invested in it like I am. And we tried to get out of it a few times, but sawdust in the blood, it just keeps drawing you back to it.
So the demand is as strong as it's ever been.
The demand is as strong as it's ever been. I mean, it's you run into different things whenever things are going on throughout the country. People are always building, and we went through this housing boom over the last few years of people just building like crazy. So logs have continued to rise and do good. And right now, your walnut and your white oak are your highest product right now. They're what's bringing the most, your veneer stuff. And I can remember years ago, my daddy used to talk about how they would walk by walnut in the woods because it just didn't bring nothing. And today it's the highest tree on the market if you find the right stuff.
What was the most valuable back when your dad was?
White oak's always been pretty strong. White oak's always been a very strong wood to cut. I mean, that's just, you build so much flooring and stuff like that comes out of it. And, that's always been the strongest, I guess you'd call the backbone of the lumber business has been the white oak. We cut a lot of popper, and I enjoy cutting a lot of popper. That's the softest hardwood there is. We stick with that a lot. I enjoy cutting popper. Popper always seems to grade out better. A good popper tree, you're liable to get 3 or 4 prime logs in it if they're good. Where a red oak, white oak, most of the time your only prime log is your butt log. That's the meat log we call it. But we still enjoy doing it. It's been a great living to us, and we got a lot of history in it. And
what's your favorite part of logging?
Probably riding in the truck. Or getting the sun drop.
Yeah, or getting the sun drop, yeah.
You can hardly put a chainsaw in his hand yet. I do all my own cutting. I like to cut the timber myself. I do all the own timber cut myself, and which it's hard to find help in this. That's the big. I guess that's probably one of the toughest things is finding help. Most people that if they know what they're doing or know how to do it, they've either doing it themselves or they already got a job. My dad begged me not to do it because it's so dangerous, but I just enjoy it better than anything.
And that's why I believe it is one of the more
I think coal mining's the #1 in the world, and logging's right behind it. I'm pretty sure. But we enjoy it.
All righty. Well, that should wind us up here from McMinnville. Cole, we certainly appreciate you and Layton taking time, and y'all come see us anytime.
So, what is your name, your farm name, and where's your farm located?
I'm a dairy farmer. Sayland Dairy is the name of our farm. My name is Michael Saylor, and we've been doing this since 1945, and we're in Jonesboro, Tennessee, Washington County.
So, what all do you produce here on the farm?
Well, we mainly is the dairy. We milk around 120 cows year-round. We grow corn solids and triticale for them, for their forages. We buy commodity feed for that. We also grow a little bit of row crop. We'll grow some soybeans, sell maybe a little corn, mostly beans. Grow some hay, sell some of that if we got extra. That's pretty much what we do for crops.
And how has Extension helped you with your farm?
Well, I mean, if you're having some issues, that's who you call on. I mean, for help, I guess they can run forage samples, soil samples, whatever you might need to do. That's pretty much what I've asked them in the past, but I'm involved with the ag committee on the county, so I mean, I'm around them quite a bit.
My name is Orrin Ogg. We Ogg Farms here in Martin, Tennessee, Weakley County. I farm with my granddad and grandmother and dad and an uncle and a cousin.
What commodities do you grow or raise?
We grow primarily corn, wheat, soybeans. We also grow some small seeds, canola, crimson clover, and we harvest some fescue for seed. We have a cow-calf operation, and we have background some of our own calves and carry all the way out to freezer beef for customers.
What is something unique or special about your farm?
We're unique in the fact that we are still truly just family farm. We hire very little help. It's all done in the family here.
What role does Extension play in helping your farm?
They help us basically with non-biased opinions. It's people that can do research and give you an answer without having a motive of selling a product or anything like that. The research plots are very beneficial. Again, it's non-biased. They don't have any skin in it, so they take the results for what they are, and they're not altered in any way.
What does the future of agriculture look like for you on your farm?
It looks good. I think there's definitely a bright future in agriculture. Things are changing. I think we're going to have to be more conservative and more efficient going forward. Input prices going up and commodity prices stagnant or falling. That's going to change things. But I think there's still a lot of opportunity for the guys that want to get out there and do some different things and try to figure it out.
We're here today with Andy Davis of Davis Farms in White County. So Andy, tell us a little bit about your farming operation and the counties that y'all are currently farming.
All right, well, my name's Andy Davis. We farm in Sparta, Tennessee, primarily row crop, but like everybody else, we're scattered out across the counties to try to find some ground. So we're farming in White, Putnam, Van Buren, and Warren.
Okay, what commodities are y'all currently growing in the row crop?
We're corn and beans primarily, mix in a little wheat. We're about 3,000 acres total, so any given year we're about half and half corn and beans, and then sprinkle in 300 to 500 acres of wheat.
What role does Extension play, and how have you been involved with UT Extension and stuff in your farming operation?
Well, UT Extension, for me personally, has always been extremely important. Once upon a time, it was a career as I was coming out of grad school. So I spent 2 years working as a farm management specialist. But then when I started farming full time, they've been basically with us side by side. They help us with all of our pesticide certifications. They help us with programming such as the Master Row Crop Producer or the Master Farm Manager, which allows us access to programs like the Tennessee Ag Enhancement Program. So, you know, and then they also help us, I guess, more with community outreach as well. You know, there's a lot of folks moving into this area that don't know a lot about farming, a lot about what we do. So a lot of times our agent has to educate some folks, I guess, about what it is that we're doing, and I guess, for lack of a better term, kind of run a buffer for us in a lot of cases. But do a fantastic job with that outreach, with that education in the community, letting these people know what it is that we're doing. You know, when at the end of the day, we're out here trying to feed America and do it in a safe and responsible way.
What are some other challenges that you face in row cropping?
Well, I think if you talk to any farmer, not just in our area but across the state, top of mind right now is probably going to be farmland loss. So we're no different in White County and the surrounding counties that we farm in. A lot of development going on, a lot of houses being built. So you hear varying statistics, but the last one I heard was 8 acres an hour right now in Tennessee getting developed. So White County and our area has not been immune to that. And so that's something that we're dealing with. It's making it harder for us to get access to good cropland. It's making it more expensive for farmers to buy land. It's dang near impossible financially to ever buy a farm and farm it out. So that's continuing. And then as well, some of the regulations that we're starting to see as far as pesticides go, maybe not as much just yet, but there's a lot of talk out of Washington about the Make America Healthy Again, the MAHA movement. Pesticides have been, I won't say a target, but it's been a topic of conversation with Robert Kennedy and his staff. So those are just some things that are on our mind right now, and hopefully before any drastic steps are taken, we can have some conversations and continue that education and that outreach that we were speaking about to kind of tell folks that what we're doing is safe and responsible.
I'm here today with Mr. Tracy Bruce with Circle E Farm in Williamson County. Mr. Bruce and his family grow goats, chickens, and hogs. So Mr. Bruce, what role has Extension played with your family farm?
Very good advice. They help out on anything I need.
And so how long have you been farming, and how did you get started?
I've been farming for about 25, 30 years. Me and my wife got together and started our own little farm.
And what is something kind of unique or special about your farm?
Well, it's family run. The kids are involved real big, and we also take in animals that we have to raise from bottle or whatever we need to do.
And what does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day starts early in the morning, feeding, then you do your work day and come home and take care of the animals again.
And on weekends too, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
So what changes have you seen in agriculture over the years?
The price of land, just the feed costs, etc.
Going crazy. What challenges do you face in farming?
The cost of feed.
Yeah. So, what do you like about farming?
I love it. It's great. I think for everybody, the kids learn a ton from doing it. And I'm glad my kids are very active in helping run the farm.
And what do you wish more people understood about farming?
The work that it takes is what I wish most people understood.
And finally, what do you think about the future of agriculture?
I think that it's good in agriculture, but the prices of land and stuff will have an effect on it.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate all you do with farming and encourage you to keep it up, and encouraged by the future generations being involved.
Yes, sir.